Okay, everyone. Hello and welcome to the Council of Club meetings for April 20th. I'm excited to be with you here today. We have a very exciting meeting where we get to decide which of our many honorable clubs, fully deserving of being honored, we are going to honor today. But before we do that, we do have to have a few other points on our meeting for people that, for announcements for people that are going to have to leave sooner. So, first thing we do, as always, is welcome new club presidents and clubs. Are there any new club presidents or new clubs that would like to announce themselves? And feel free to raise your hand or even go off mute. Okay. Well, seeing none, we had quite a few last month. I'm sure we'll have some next month again. Okay, after that, we're going to have our announcements from elected officials and party officers, and Deborah is asked to go first. She's our Region 20 director. And then, because she has a conflict, after that, we will be reviewing the Roosevelt dinner information, club recruitment update. That will actually come before the Roosevelt dinner information because Sarah also has another commitment, and then we'll be on to our Club of the Year consideration. So, new clubs, new presidents. It's not appear we have any this year. So on to elected officials and party leader announcements. Deborah, you may go first.
Well, good morning, San Diego. I hope everyone's doing great today. As you know, the DNC district delegate election is happening now and will be over on tomorrow, Sunday by 5 o'clock. The email's a little tricky to find. You'll think it's maybe a donation to the Biden campaign, but what it says is vote now, Biden for president, district level delegate election for DNC. So if you received, you should have also received a text if you registered to vote to let you know about that. And for the winners for the district elections, you'll meet in San Diego the weekend of the e-board, which is May 18th, and you'll get more information later. You can still apply for at-large in Clio till April 24th, so you still have a few days if you want to do that. And as you know, too, besides the district delegate elections, there's also DNC members. And the application phase stopped for that. But you'll probably, if you're on an e-board, been receiving a lot of phone calls from DNC hopefuls like me over the next month. There will be 3 e-boards this year. The one, of course, in beautiful San Diego next month. There'll be a virtual one early August and December 6th through 8th in somewhere in Northern California. I wish good luck to all the candidates that are running to be district delegates. It's an exciting thing to do. I've been blessed to have done that twice. And I wish you a lot of luck. And thank you so much and have a great day.
Hey, thank you, Deborah. Any other elected leaders or party leader announcements? I don't see that Michelle has joined. I've been trying to send this to her. I'm having problems doing so. So if she joins later, we will get back to that. Okay. Okay, so as we were just hearing from, that was Deborah Cunningham-Skrinick. She is our California Democratic Party Region 21 Director, which is the Assembly District 71, 74, 75, and 76. Region 22 is Michelle Krug. She is Assembly District 77, 78, 79, and 80th. Okay, our club development team that is assisting me, co-hosting this meeting. Myself, Sonara Velasquez. Metro West representative is Indranil Banerjee. North Coastal is Rob Howard. Hugh Rotham is North Inland. East is Kira Green. South had been Anna Webb. I need to update this slide. This is currently vacant. We have the at-large directors, Justin Domicello and Deanna Aguirre. This is the people that will assist you with your club needs in your area. So feel free to reach out to them if you have any questions or need assistance. Next up is the update from candidate recruitment. Sarah Davis is the co-chair of the candidate recruitment committee, and she wanted to say a few words to our club about how clubs can help recruit for the general election. This is very timely. So Sarah, if you would like to start, you're welcome to say a few words about how we can plug into your candidate recruitment efforts.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. So the Candidate Recruitment Evaluation and Development Committee meets monthly. And anyone, first of all, is just welcome to join us for our meeting. That's the first thing. We meet the second Tuesday of every month on Zoom. Our purpose is on off years to work on kind of tweaking candidate evaluation and the whole process with, the evals and how we present that and do that process. And during on years for a cycle like this year, it's really focusing on recruitment and making sure that we are putting Democratic candidates forward across the county, especially in down ballot races, like the hundreds of races that are coming up in the general election, on city councils, school boards, planning boards, and special districts, like water districts, fire protection districts, and all sorts of other districts that are going to be coming up on the general election. So now that we have cleared through the primary and we're really kind of laser focused on the general, we want to connect with the clubs and make sure that the clubs know that we exist and that we're not reduplicating efforts or have competing efforts between the candidate, the CRED committee, the Recruitment Evaluation Development Committee, between area caucuses and between the clubs. So I would like to let the clubs know a couple things that this committee has to offer. One is staff county party staff maintains a list, just an ongoing list of interested candidates for every single office, and making sure that we have a Democrat in every one of those offices. So if you have somebody who you know or you yourself might be interested in any of these down ballot races, make sure the party knows so that we can have everyone kind of on the same page. One way to let the party know is with a link that I'm going to go ahead and drop, or actually, Maral, if you're on, go ahead and drop it. Otherwise, I'll do it in a minute. A link that you can use to communicate back to the committee, hey, here's somebody. So that's one thing we have to offer. Two, if you're interested in really, looking at all of those offices available and just kind of getting a lay of the land and a picture, kind of a visual picture of the list and where it lays out, that same link has lists of all of the available offices coming up and kind of shows us how different they are by area. For example, Metro West has very, very, very few, and East area has hundreds, by far the most. And lastly, we would love to connect with clubs and have somebody from the Candidate Recruitment and Evaluation Committee go to any club who wants to actively push to recruit for any of those offices. So whether you're an area club or an affinity club or a geographic club or an affinity club, we know you might be involved in wanting to build the bench and bring people into these offices. So our committee would love to come talk to you, talk to your members about how and when and why to encourage yourselves and your friends and neighbors to run for office on any of these down ballot races. The party staff, thank you, Moral, is almost completed a kind of an info packet, I could say kind of a packet-ish of information that's really geared to these much less common races, really explaining what all of the special districts are and letting people know what those what the commitment might be involved, what the scope of work might be involved for one of those down ballot races, and again, how to plug in with the county, with the party, sorry. So please do, as a club, reach out to our committee. You can email me, you can email my co-chair, Eric, or you can email staff, Morale's staffing our committee, and we would be happy to come talk to your club and talk to your members about getting Democrats on every single one of these ballots. And yeah, if anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer questions. Otherwise, I can also put my email and Eric's in the chat. And of course, anybody's welcome to reach out to staff as well.
So where do we find where candidates are needed by region? So I'm looking here at the candidates for the 2024 general election, and we reviewed this last time. So this is, you know, the special districts, all the special districts. I'm assuming if there's no candidate listed, candidate recruitment is helpful. But is there a place where it says by region what candidates we are recruiting for?
We do have an internal, let's see, is that you sharing or is that Maral
Yes,
sharing?
that's me
Yeah.
sharing.
Okay. Let me,
If I may, I'm sorry,
go
I
for it.
totally shared the wrong link. I'm sorry, that's my bad. Because it's,
Okay.
yeah, so it's the one that I messaged you, Sonara, the right link, but it's also
Ah,
accessible from our menu. Yeah, so that's where,
learn about running. Oh,
Yeah.
there we go. Okay,
yeah, so
that's
then you
much
can
more
click on
useful.
the different offices and we will be like, you know, removing them as we find folks and then, yeah.
Oh, so here we are, offices in East County for which we are recruiting. Okay, so these are the ones that all of these do not yet have a candidate declared for. No one's that we're aware of, at least.
Yeah, I think I need to like go through and, you know, revise from like this week still, but yes. And South area has very few. So just something to keep in mind is we usually tend to remove that at some point coming up. So
Okay, great. So let me go ahead and put the correct link in the chat. My apologies, everyone, if I've confused you. Candidate recruitment. So yeah, we have a lot of wonderful clubs in the East and in the South and in the North that can be helping with this efforts. So if you, this here is the main page. I've put it in the chat as well. Offices in North County, South County, and East County for which candidates are needed. And clubs are a great way to recruit for these candidates. We know people who may care about the Olive and Hine Municipal Water District Division 2. So just to pick out a very random small office. So great. Okay, does anyone else have any questions for Sarah about candidate recruitment?
Sorry. Kate
No, go for
Bishop,
it, Kate.
San Diego Democratic Education Alliance. I just wanted to point out that we do specifically for school board races, we do trainings like top to bottom what you need for a campaign, where they're able to leave with a campaign checklist at the end. And we're going to have another one coming up pretty soon. So if you have school board candidates, please send them our way.
Absolutely.
And
Anne is a committee member or very active committee member as well. So she definitely is making sure that folks get sent that way for training as well.
okay, and Justin has his hand raised.
My question is, I guess, for Kate and Sarah, do these trainings go over PLAs? I feel like if somebody wants to run for school board, they should at least know like what a PLA is. And I have to confess that I recently learned all about PLAs. So now I'm excited. I'm talking about them a lot because I know what it is now.
We cover a lot of union issues around not only working with constituent unions in your district, but also PLAs.
Elise?
Oh, hi. There isn't anything on here about the city or my districts or.
Yeah, you just mean the city of San Diego. So there are no seats open for general election that don't have Democratic candidates yet. So this is specifically looking for open seats or sorry, yeah, seats that will be on the November general election ballot that don't have Democratic candidates yet.
Okay.
Greg Robinson?
Thank you.
Yeah, just to add real quick to what Kate just said, another source of information on PLAs, of course, is to come to the Labor Democratic Club. Since this is largely oriented around labor issues, in which we have people from the building trades who are the most concerned about project labor agreements. So just another source of information is the Labor Democratic Club.
Okay. Does anyone else have any questions or comments about candidate recruitment?
Well, thank you so much for offering the time. And I think kind of the bottom line is we want to make sure two things happen. One, that we get awesome people running for these seats. And two, that we don't accidentally actively recruit multiple people for the same tiny seat and kind of lose our chance of bringing those wonderful people in by running them against each other and kind of demoralizing everybody. So we want to make sure we're basically just as much on the same page as we can for so many of these smaller offices.
Okay, we agree. That's why we're glad you're here today. Dr. Banerjee also has a question.
Yeah, thank you so much for presenting that, Sarah. If we wanted to get a hold of you to schedule you presenting that to our clubs, could you put that link in the chat?
That will be my email, and I will put it right now. And myself
Awesome,
and
thank you
Eric.
much.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't know Eric's by heart, so I'm gonna go get it when I know mine, but I don't know Eric. So let me grab it, cut and paste it real quick.
Okay, well, thank you very much. As she does that, we're going to move on to the Roosevelt dinner. We have Maral here who is going to speak to us about how we can be part of the Roosevelt dinner and how we can contribute as a club and participate as a club. Maral, take it away.
Hi, everyone. So basically, as you all may have heard, we announced that our Roosevelt dinner is coming up on May 31st. It is a Friday this year. And the check-in and reception is 5:30, program is 6:30, and it's going to be at the Hilton Bayfront this year. It's a change from the venue we've been hosting it at for the last 2 years, but we're excited about this. And so basically we do have the ticketing options that are listed below. And you know, for clubs, oftentimes I know, and I do owe some of you an email, and I'll be responding to you on Monday. Some of you have reached out already, but I know that for clubs, oftentimes many of you will be purchasing you know, tickets of 10. So if you were to want to purchase a table, it would be tickets of 10 at the club and go team level. So and then also there's the early bird pricing. So it's $155 right now, and it's going to go up April 30th. So, and you can also purchase quantities less than 10, but for those of you who are just trying to figure out, oh, how do I purchase a table? We don't actually have like that option, but you just would purchase tickets, 10 tickets. And you don't have to purchase, you know, 10 tickets or a full table. You're welcome to like purchase, you know, 7 or however many, but just wanted to clarify that as well. And then the only thing that we request is when you do, I believe if you scroll down, just please be sure that if you have, for example, folks who are individually selecting their tickets, oh, I think you actually have to select the quantity for like the thing to appear, the drop down to appear where it's, oh yeah, there it is. Sorry. Yep. If you're requesting to be seated. So just, you know, a reminder to like any of your members who are purchasing individual tickets that they please indicate their affiliation. That would be really helpful. And then also the other thing is that we will be announcing our theme. It's coming up. We still haven't done that yet, but we still haven't made our announced our theme yet, but we will be doing so soon. And then we'll also be announcing our awardees and also speakers. So be on the lookout for that. We're very excited, and it'll be nice this year. And then those are our sponsorship opportunities. So this is just, you know, these are for different sponsorship opportunities, but I did want to point out if your club does want to put an ad in like our booklet, you would just be looking at basically the standalone video and display ads. Those are options. So the slide display ad, for example, and that also would go printed in our booklet. So that would be an option that if you're interested in doing that. And the deadlines for that are May 10th. And so I will be doing an outreach. You'll be hearing from me. I'll be doing outreach to all clubs, kind of like just to answer any specific questions you'll have. But if anyone has any questions right now, I'm happy to answer them pertaining to the Roosevelt.
Pete has a question.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm already booked, but I don't believe I paid $155 for my club ticket. Was it always that price, or did it recently go up?
I do think that it was, you know, that I'm not sure, but I think that there was like, you know, possibly like the discrepancy or something, but this is the price though. But either way, whatever, if you got a ticket and you got a ticket earlier, then that is your ticket. But yes,
the comment was at our Poway club meeting last week a number of people were quite pushed back because of that price. Is there any way that we can, give people a special code to give them a better break?
I mean, I would talk to Ryan about that. Ryan and Becca. That's not something that I would be able to answer.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
just going down the list of folks. Or Carl.
Hi. Is there a flyer? It says here, if you want the flyer, click here, but there's no click here link. And I'm
That's
talking
because
about
we
not for
haven't-
the
we-
sponsorship, but for the,
Yeah, that's because we haven't yet announced awardee information. And so that's
Okay.
because so once we do, then we will be adding that. But yeah, I
so
will.
it's coming soon.
Yes. Yep. Because also part of it is going to be deciding for the club of the year. So that'll include
All right.
that.
Thanks.
No problem. Michelle.
Good morning. Yes, I'm just wondering if we specify the club that, we want to be seated with,
Yep.
does the party label the tables? Or do we find our own and,
Yes. Yeah, the party does. So like we do have a seating chart, and so we will be putting, if you have all your Demco members, if you have 10 or however many, we'll put the table name, Demco, and then we have a seating arrangement. So yeah, we'll be
okay, even if we don't buy, because our board is not, we don't willing to put the money out for 10 tickets, because we don't know how many are coming.
Of
So
course.
we're just going to buy them on our own, but it still will be labeled if we designate Demco in the club.
Yes, because we tend to for the seating arrangements, we'll note that that's why we do request that, so that if we see a bunch of folks who are Demco, then we know to place them together, and then we can name the table the Demco table. So
Awesome, thank you.
no problem. Justin.
Hi, Moral. First, you're awesome. But my question is, for the video content, are there standards or any sort of approval process? Because I feel like if I take my dog canvassing with me, I should be able to submit, if I pay the money, for my dog to be in the video with me to talk about the Biden campaign or why it's important to get out the vote, because I don't think we want to deal with a Trump 2.0.
I think that is a very sweet idea. I would ask Andrea, honestly, probably. So I would be the person, just simply as I'm going to be doing outreach to clubs. But when it comes to anything that's sponsorships, or maybe the videos, I would reach out to Andrea at andrea@sddemocrats.org. But if you just have questions about club purchasing tickets and anything like that, then please feel free to reach out to me. But yeah, I think that's a cute idea, that I'd reach out to Andrea.
Okay. Pete, your hand is still up. Is that from before?
I'm sorry.
Any other questions for Morale? Okay. Well,
Great.
with that in mind, I think we're
Thank
good. Okay. We are now on to the main event, the Club of the Year, the April meeting. So, okay, I'm going to let Dr. Banerjee, who's head of the nominating committee, take it from here.
All right, thank you, Madam Chair. Real quick, one quick housekeeping note. Justin, can you vote for the API Democratic Club today?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you. If you don't, and would all the clubs mind if you are voting, put a comma after your name and put your club name there. All right, so Madam Chair, do we have a slide that details all the club names?
We do.
All right, wonderful. All right, everyone, welcome to the Club of the Year. These 6 clubs are the nominated clubs of the year. We are going to be giving out one Club of the Year award this year, so unfortunately, we're not going to be able to split it. So, all 6 clubs are going to have equal time to present. All clubs should have sent their slide decks to the chair, or if you have it, let us know when your club name comes up. And yeah, so we can go ahead and get started. So we're going to go in reverse order here. So we'll start with this San Marcos Democratic Club. Madam Chair, please feel free to interrupt me anytime if I miss something here.
Okay, the clubs are welcome to present themselves. I just asked that they send us the presentations in
Perfect.
case I have trouble getting their screen shared. So, just
Sounds
let us know.
perfect. Sounds perfect. And Madam Chair, do you have the app? I do on the on my Zoom for the timer countdown.
Oh, I have never used that before. That is a
Okay.
great thing for me to learn. Let's see,
All
timer
right.
countdown.
If not, what we'll do is I'll set my timer on my cell phone for 7 minutes. What we'll do is in the last minute, I'll hold up a fist like this. That way you'll know, you got a minute left. And we can go ahead and get started. So let's start with our San Marcos Democratic Club.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, go ahead.
Can you present? Oh, hold on, let me put my camera on. Are you going to present my slide deck for me, or do I need to pull that up?
As you'd like. It's up to you.
Yeah, you can do it. That's fine.
Okay, let me go ahead. Okay, just a second while I get your slide deck.
Andrew, you're gonna hold the fist or something when I had a minute.
Yeah, at this it'll be a minute.
All right.
So just and can everyone see? Can club see this when it is? Okay. All right. Beautiful.
Okay, San Marcos Democratic Club being pulled up right now. Let me restart with sharing my screen. Okay, here we are.
All right, wait, one thing before we get started, there is a timer option.
There we go.
Wait, before we get started, Paul, there's a timer option Ross Pike is saying. Ross, can you really quickly just tell me where the timer is?
Yeah, check the tools option. That there is a timer option and it'll go off for you. Because that's how I keep time in other meetings.
Tools. Where do I find tools? I see apps. Where is tools?
Yeah, try apps.
Apps, and the basic timer is really good.
Okay, I see timer, clock, agenda, timer, and meet Robbie. I guess timer. Is that the one? Okay, I'll do that.
All right, Madam Chair, do you mind putting the timer on?
I'm working on it. Give me 1 second. I'm trying here.
Yeah, just the timer. Blue little stopwatch is the best one.
It is not letting me do it. It's saying I'm signed into a different account on the web than the Zoom client to add the app, re-sign on and rejoin. So yeah, I can't at this moment.
Let me try mine here, Madam Chair. Let's see here.
Please.
Point of Madam Chair.
Mm-hmm.
So wait, this is for the San Marcos Dems, right? Who's presenting today? Do we know who the speaker is?
Paul.
Yes.
Oh, hi.
Paul Mendes.
Hello.
Okay, I just have the timer to work, so
woohoo! Thank you.
Can you see the timer when I run this?
Yes, I can see it at the top right.
All right.
Perfect.
Okay, we are good. We have a timer. Everyone has 7 minutes. Paul, the floor is yours for the San Marcos Democratic Club.
Okay, perfect. Hello, fellow club presidents and representatives. I'm Paul Mendoza, president of the San Marcos Democratic Club, and I'm excited to tell you about the great work that our club has done over the last year. I hope we'll earn your vote for Club of the Year. Next slide, please. So first, a bit about San Marcos and our club at a high level. San Marcos is a city in North County between Escondido and Vista and Carlsbad along Highway 78. It has 104,000 people living in it. And since 2016, the registered voter demographic now has Democrats with a 4,000 voter lead. We have 213 members with 54 new members joining in the last year. But as you can see, our boards are mixed. Democrats control all 5 seats on the school board, which is great, but only 2 on the water district and none on our city council. Our club is working hard to reverse this trend on those boards. We have a robust leadership board with amazing experience on the team. They have been excited about pushing our club to new heights. I'd especially like to highlight Natasha, our membership chair, for excellent work at reimagining our membership process. She has improved our check-in process at meetings and made sure every new member and guest is greeted and not left out of the socializing time at the beginning of the meeting. Next slide. As an overview of our club, in 2023, we had 11 meetings with attendance in the range of 20 to 95 people. Our club also has one of the largest contingent of delegates to the CADEM endorsing convention. Additionally, our club raised $9,300 throughout the year from various fundraising activities. We were able to use some of these funds to redesign our website and to purchase equipment for streaming our meetings. Finally, we have done a lot to partner with local nonprofits to work on community service projects. Next slide. In 2023, we tried to have a very educational set of meetings for our members since it wasn't an election year. One of the meetings our members really appreciated was the candidate forum we hosted for the Assembly District 76 race between Dr. Darshana Patel and Joseph Rocha, where we dedicated the entire meeting to a moderated discussion. Another meeting that our members appreciated was a November meeting where we had members provide feedback in small groups about where they'd like to see the club work on in 2024. This yielded a lot of good ideas that we've been putting into practice this year. I'd also like to point out that our meetings are all streamed on Zoom. We spend a lot of time before each meeting making sure that we have the sound and camera setup working for those who want to attend digitally. Club membership. As I said, our membership now has 213 members with 80% renewals and 54 new members. Our average meeting attendance is 55, with almost all of those people being in person. Next slide. Our club, through our efforts of our fundraising chair, Carol Gundel, put on a large fundraising event for one of our longest members, Betty Ball. With this event, the club raised $8,400. We also do various smaller fundraising activities at meetings, such as our 50-50 drawing. Next slide. Outside of our meetings, our club members are very involved in the local community. We not only help get candidates elected, we have many members who serve on various boards, committees, volunteer with local nonprofits, do food distribution events, and keep an eye on what's happening with our largely Republican local leadership. Next slide. After the 2022 election cycle, we recognized the need for our club to get more involved in the actual campaign process. We already did the Go team, but we felt there was more we could do. So our political action committee, under the leadership of Dr. Tiffany Boyd Hodgson, has set out to build a strategic plan for how the club can help candidates in 2023 for 2024. This involves activities such as coordinating walk events with candidates, finding and training candidates, getting club members involved with social media to support candidates, reducing duplicate work, and distributing signs. We're actively putting this plan into action this year. Next slide. Our club has a very active Go team with 39 members in the last primary election participating, and they hit 2,300 doors. Betty Ball was instrumental in bringing the Go team efforts to the San Diego region as a whole, but especially in San Marcos decades ago. We have 58 members who participate in the Go team, and Michael Allen and Carol Vendel have become skilled at cutting turfs for our Go team walkers. Michael Allen has started doing in-depth analysis of our various precincts so we can better target walkers in 2024. Next slide. These next few slides are going to be about Democrats who hold various offices. So for example, we have all 5 school board seats filled with Democrats in San Marcos. Next slide. Dr. Tiffany Boyd Hodgson is the president of the Vallecillos Water District. And then we have a couple of members who also are appointed to the North County Cemetery District, Colleen Lugoff and Barb Soulier. And then next slide, yeah. And then we also have a number of our members of the club who are also in city leadership or community foundation or commissions for the city. Next slide. And then finally, I wanted to highlight the community service portion of our club. Our club does a lot for our community, whether it's trash pickup, helping Universidad Popular with citizenship classes, vaccination drives, book drives, and more. Next slide. For our food distribution activities, several volunteers help staff the twice-monthly food distribution bank. Every month, we collect between 30 to 60 bags of shelf-stable groceries along with personal care items to stock the shelves of this community resource serving the primarily Latino neighborhoods of San Marcos. A total of 121 contributors with 112 club members donate to this monthly food drive effort. Next slide. Activities in our local community involve booths at various street and community fairs around our city. We participate in the Cesar Chavez Day of Service and invite speakers from local groups to talk about the important issues. Next slide. And then finally, a number of our members went through the CERT or Community Emergency Response Team training through the city and Universidad Popular. Next slide. I would like to thank all of the members in my club's leadership who helped assemble this presentation. I also like to thank our mentor, Ross Pike, for his outstanding support. Finally, I'd like to thank you all for considering the San Marcos Democratic Club for Club of the Year. We would greatly appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Chair. And Madam Chair, are we doing questions at the end or are we doing them post presentation?
Your call.
Okay. All right. So we do have 6 clubs to get through. So we only have 5 minutes for questions after. So I'll set a timer for 5 minutes. So Justin, go ahead and ask your question.
My question is, would you say, Paul, that it's a fair statement to say that Betty Ball walked in San Marcos for the rest of us to run? I mean, she is like one of the OG queer leaders, right? Like, I feel like we got to talk about that. Like, you can't talk about San Marcos Dems without highlighting Betty Ball in that capacity, right?
Right. I mean, she's one of the founding members of the San Marcos Democratic Club. She was president of the club. And then she also helped bring, my understanding is she helped bring the Go Team concept to San Diego as a whole. And the county saw what she did in San Marcos to help get people elected. And they were like, well, we need to bring that to the rest of the county as a whole.
All right. Are there any other questions for the San Marcos Democratic Club? Are there any other questions for the San Marcos Democratic Club? Final time. Are there any other questions for the San Marcos Democratic Club? Okay, seeing none. Thank you, San Marcos Democratic Club, for your presentation. We will be moving on to the Rancho Bernardo Democratic Club. Is the representative here? Is the representative here?
I know Hugh and I had talked last night and he said they hadn't made a presentation. I didn't get clarity on whether or not someone would. So they may have decided not to participate at this time. Hugh, are you available to let us know?
I don't believe I see Hugh on the call. We can come back to them.
He is,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, but we can come back, yeah.
Okay. All right. So we'll come back to the San Marcos, to the Rancho Bernardo Democratic Club. Thank you, San Marcos. Next up, we have the Carlsbad Democratic Club. I believe that's represented by Chiwu.
And would you like me to share the screen or would you like to just share your screen?
Actually, Deanna will present it.
Yes.
Yes.
Wonderful.
And if I may share, I can figure that out.
Yeah, Diana.
You are a co-host, so you should be able to.
Okay.
Yeah, Zoom is not my forte, but let me see. I'm more of MS Teams.
So if you go down to the bottom of your toolbar, you'll see a green share screen button.
Oh, there. Okay.
If you click that, it'll take you to an option screen of what you'd like to share.
So I just click on Safari, right? If I'm just sharing my.
Correct.
This is, I'm getting this open system preferences. I don't think it's working on my end. So maybe if you could share.
Sure, happy to do so.
Thanks.
Okay, Madam Chair,
Why we do this? Yep.
Sorry about that.
Okay, wait a sec. This is.
Sorry, she may not have the latest.
I do. It just okay. Here we are. Thank you. There were 2 versions. I think it's pulling up the wrong one.
I sent one this morning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
So, is this correct?
I said 1.2. Is that the title?
Yes, 1.2.
Thank you.
Okay, good.
All right. Okay, Carlsbad Democratic Club, you have 7 minutes and then 5 minutes for questions. The floor is yours.
Okay. Good morning. I'm excited today to present to you the Carlsbad Democrats, our Club of the Year submission. My name is Diana Aguirre. I am one of the founders and I currently serve a member at large on our board, as well as Chiwu Ching. He is also a founder and our presiding president. Next slide, please. I'll give you a brief history of our club and then we'll go over through our Club of the Year requirements. Next slide, please. As I mentioned, both Chiwu and I are founders, along with Dr. David Hall and the infamous Rob Howard. Next slide, please. In 2022, we decided, we were all aligned, all four of us, that there was a need in North County, San Diego, to have a club where the principles were based on JEDI, justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion, as well as a club that was supportive of activities for supporting climate change. So we chartered our club in March of 2022, and really our goal is to ensure that we involve ourselves in community service, as well as to support our Democratic candidates and Democratic elected officials with the underlying value of JEDI. We are a firm believer in our mantra, which is show up, speak up, and take action. And hopefully through this presentation, you will see that we actually do show up, speak up, and take action. Next slide, please. Here are our board members. As you can see, many of these faces are very familiar. We also have brought in a few, Spence Rowe, who's actually fairly new to our Democratic Party. So we have a variety of experience and skill sets, and we all are very committed to those JEDI values and work diligently to move our club forward. Next slide, please. Just to give you an idea of our membership, we started with the 20 chartering members back in 2022. Currently, we have 64 paid members, so we're excited that we have pretty much tripled our membership. Most of our members do reside in Carlsbad. We have several in Oceanside. We even have members in La Mesa, Vista, and Escondido. Next slide, please. Just to give you an idea of our club demographics. Now, we are based in Carlsbad, so our membership is primarily Caucasian, 65%. We do have AAPI representation, Latino, and Black representation. And of course, the women take the lead in our membership with about 60% of our membership. Next slide, please. Our club meetings, this is just to show you that we are very dedicated in ensuring that we meet regularly as a club. Since we chartered our club, we've pretty much had all our general membership meetings on Zoom, and on average about 20 club members per meeting. We are also very consistent about holding our board meetings, as we value being able to meet and plan activities for our club. And then the last 2 years, we have in-person fundraisers that have been very successful in raising for our club, but also for the ability to donate to candidates. Next slide, please. Now, the reason that we decided to submit for Club of the Year is because we meet all of the requirements. I do want to point out that we are the only club with a JEDI focus. We are very good about supporting our local elected Democrats. We're social activists. We collaborate with many clubs. We are active with our voter registration and also with our community service. Just to give you an idea of some of our speakers that have joined our club to provide presentations, this isn't all the speakers that have spoken at our club, but just to give you an idea, we've had Destiny Perkins, who's very active with the NAACP North County San Diego chapter, speak on the war on drugs from a youth perspective. We've had environmental speakers. We had Yusuf Miller, Barbara Collins, who's part of the Sierra Club, speak at Women History Club. At the end of the day, we really focus on our JEDI values. So we plan our programming around JEDI. Next slide, please. Now, community service, we truly believe in showing up, speaking up, and taking action. And the way we do this is through community service. It's important for us to be active within our own community. We participate in beach cleanups. We participate in donation drives. We partnered with the Encinitas Club for a donation drive for the community center in Encinitas. We support our own council member, Dr. Bhat Patel, with her Baby and Mama Drive. And we're also active supporters of the North County LGBTQ Center. Next slide, please. Activism. I think one of the greatest accomplishments of our club is that we showed up at the Carlsbad school board meetings. We endured hours and hours of these horrific school board meetings because we wanted to support the school board's DEI plan, the diversity, Equity, Inclusion, Belonging Plan. Like I said, there were multiple meetings that took place several hours, and not just showing up. We were there providing public comment, which we had a really strong presence. Same with the City of Carlsbad meetings. We wanted to make sure that we supported the flying of the pride flag of the City Hall. We participate in many rallies. You know, we also participated in a banned books local event, and of course, voter registration. So again, we show up, we take action. Next slide, please. Just to highlight some of the community partnerships that we've had, we both through volunteering and also fundraising. My time is running out, but I also wanted to highlight, next slide, please, our involvement with Democratic candidates. As you can see, we've been very involved in canvassing, phone banking, and fundraising. Next slide, please. And we're huge supporters of Mike Levin. We're very excited, again, considering the size of our group, that we raised over close to $7,000 for Congressman Mike Levin. And then I'll end with club partnerships. We have collaborated with many clubs, with AAPI, with DEMCO, San Marcos, the Environmental Dems, because we feel that we're all in this together. Thank you.
Dr. Banerjee, you're on mute.
Sorry about that. You think I learned by now. All right. So thank you so much, Carlsbad Democratic Club and Diana Geary. So we'll set the timer for 5 minutes, and anyone who'd like to go ahead and ask a question, please raise your hand in the reactions tab that is at the bottom bar. And we'll go ahead and ask and answer questions. Oh, there. Okay. Any questions? Any questions from the floor? Any questions from the floor? Final time. Any questions from the floor? Okay, seeing none. Just stop this right here. Okay. Sorry, my timer keeps going here. Okay, wonderful. Okay, thank you so much, Carlsbad Democratic Club. We have had the Rancho Bernardo Democratic Club withdraw, so we will be now moving on to the Coronado Democratic Club. To whom is representing the Coronado Democratic Club?
Marely Ramirez.
Okay, thank you, Marley. Okay, are you presenting your deck, or is the chair presenting your deck?
Go ahead, may the chair present my deck. That's fine. Thank you.
Wonderful. All right.
Make it easy for me.
Sound great. All right. So let's see here. All right. The deck is up. The Coronado Democratic Club. The floor is yours for the next 7 minutes. Go right on ahead.
All right. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. My name is Marely Ramirez. I am the former chair of the Coronado Democratic Club. I'm super excited to be here today. Even though I'm no longer the president, I got to share some very, very amazing achievements we had last year. And we're going to start with the fact that our intent was to educate, motivate, and activate. We had 7 programs highlighted here. We were fighting constantly against the MAGA madness, but there were other issues that we had to address: homelessness, environment, Go Team, reproductive freedom, the Port of San Diego. And most importantly, we were steady last year at 250 members. Our intent, again, educate, motivate, activate. Next slide, please. So how are we going to accomplish this? Well, we realized that the reality is that not everyone likes social media. However, the megaphone became unanimously to upgrade our website and make that the place to go to get information, to become active, to become informed. So you guys are welcome to check us out. We're super proud of the work we've done. And again, we have noticed already the interest we've gotten from across the county. Next slide, please. First things first, community outreach. You have to learn how to give. We were very intentional about this, whether we were doing something in our community or reaching out to help our unsheltered brothers and sisters, or women's initiatives. Next slide, please. Okay, and getting down to one of the most important projects we worked on last year, again, to educate, motivate, activate. We were defending our town from the MAGA madness. You guys have no idea how, or maybe you do, it's been so challenging because the MAGA have infiltrated Coronado and they are relentless. So we had to prepare to defend our library, defend the LGBTQ community, defend against the Awakened Church, which is here. It's present as of last year. They have 13 members, so they are operational. That was very alarming to us. So we ran with a very good letter writing campaign. I should pluralize that because it has been an effort that I can talk about in a separate presentation, how to mobilize hundreds of people through letter writing campaigns. Our Go team has become very, very strong. 24 members now, as of now, and growing. Next slide, please. Building alliances. One of my goals was to, branch out. Why? Because it matters to understand and know all the times what are other clubs doing. It was Jim B that motivated me to say, hey, we gotta get out there and do more. It was La Voz Demócrata who reminded me, immigration is still a huge problem that we have to stand behind, and we have to, most importantly, understand how critical it is to stand behind them. And we were listening to our youth. Reproductive freedom was a huge problem, not a huge problem, a huge issue that they are alarmed by. So we had to stand behind them. Next slide, please. Okay, how do we do this? Fostering the next generation. So important to us to continue to give 2 scholarships to Southwestern College to let our students know we care. Extremely important for our young Dems here at the Coronado High School to let them know we care. And when they said reproductive freedom is an issue that really bothers us, we brought the speakers. They were informed and encouraged to vote, to get engaged, and to make a difference. Next slide, please. Okay, our LGBTQ community. Yes, we have a presence here in our community. We love them. So what did we do? Well, when youth wanted to speak and say, support us, we did. When we got invited to march at the Pride Parade, we showed up. And that was a huge message we were sending to our local community that we love them, we care, and we're there for them. Next slide. So one of the biggest challenges we had here, the cross-border sewage problem. It was the effort of the year last year to motivate the community to speak up and say something. The biggest challenge was to say, hey, Republican Women's Club, we are here, we need to talk. Guess what? The conversation started. Happy to report that they could not ignore the effort of the Coronado Democratic Club. We cared and we had to unite. Next slide, please. We said, okay, Imperial Beach is our neighbor. They are our friends. We must support them. So we organized. It was not easy, but we did it. Why? Because we care. The environment matters, but most importantly, the health of millions of people who get into the ocean was a priority for us to address. Next slide, please. Yes, we were making some serious noise. It was recognized by Assemblywoman Tasha Borner that we were making a difference and we were going to be relentless. Next slide. Making a difference, absolutely. By educating, motivating, and activating our community beyond our club was a mission that paid off. One of our club members, Laura Wilkinson, joined activists to go to Congress and say, this has to start with change. You have to make something. You have to stand up and do something for the people. And we sure did start to make dents in the universe as per getting money from the federal government to start making a difference. Next slide, please. And very important to all of our clubs to know that making friendships is key. Making friendships with your fellow club members, making friendships beyond the club. Why? Because that's how you build trust. That's how you build community. And most importantly, that is the way to defend democracy, to unite, to push hard, all for one. Thank you very much. I think my time's up.
All right, thank you, Coronado Democratic Club. All right, we'll reset the timer for 5 minutes. And are there any questions for the Coronado Democratic Club? All right, Justin, your hand is up. Please go ahead and ask your question.
Coronado Dems, were you aware that some people in the party described the Coronado Dem Club as the Beyonce of the Club of the Year awards, and that, you know, every year that Beyonce should get Album of the Year and she doesn't? I feel like that's Coronado Dems. I want to thank you sincerely for your awesome presentation and your continued excellent work as a geographic club. It's really fantastic work.
Oh, thank you so much. That makes my day. You know, the fact is that we recognize this is not about an award. This is about how can we amplify a synchronized message to demolish the MAGA madness. And that's where we are. And I am here to tell you that if you have any questions, reach out, because we've done the work. It makes a difference. And we just want to share it. Do it as well. Replicate it. Don't reinvent the wheel. We're here to stand united. Thank you, Justin.
Thank you, Justin. Any other questions for the Coronado Democratic Club? Any other questions for the Coronado Democratic Club? Final time. Any other questions for the Coronado Democratic Club? All right, hearing none, we thank you, Coronado Democratic Club. We will reset the timer for our next presenter. We will be moving on to the San Diego Democratic Education Alliance. I believe that's Kate Bishop. Kate, are you on the call?
Yes, sir, I am.
All right, and Kate, I believe you have your slide deck, correct?
Yes, I did share it with Snara, with her. I have her personal one. I didn't do the club's one, but Ruby Baker will be actually running the slideshow on my behalf, if that's okay. My vice president.
Sounds wonderful. Okay, so your deck is up. All right, we are actually, well, the chair has the deck up. Do you want, Madam Chair, are you sharing the deck, or is Ruby Baker sharing the deck?
Ruby's sharing it.
Okay.
Ruby, if you click on slideshow at the top right, it'll go to full screen for you.
Yeah, I'm not sharing it. That's
Oh, yeah. Ruby, there you go. You're there. You were there.
Slideshow,
Slideshow,
right.
top right says slideshow.
Other right.
Other right. Right there. You got it.
There you go. All right. All right, San Diego Democratic Club, the floor is yours for the next 7 minutes.
Thank you so much for your time today, Council Clubs. My name is Kate Bishop, she, her, and hers, president of the San Diego Democratic Education Alliance, and hope to get your vote today for Club of the Year. Our goal is to get teacher, next slide, please. Just press down. Just press down. Down arrow, babe.
Hold on.
Just press your down arrow, babe.
I'm trying to. It's not letting me.
Interesting. We might need to
Okay,
switch
go
over.
to the left-hand side of your screen and on the lower left, and then press the button. There you go.
Great. Thank you. Sorry. Hopefully that doesn't take away from our time. So we are the San Diego Democratic Education Alliance, sometimes known as the DemEd Alliance or the Ed Dem Club. Our goal is to get teachers, staff, parents, and education involved with the Democratic Party so that we can get the party to prioritize education and to get good Democrats elected and reelected to San Diego County school boards. One of the biggest issues in 2023 was the rise of right-wing attacks on school boards all over the county. In response, we created our marquee program where people adopted a district to keep an eye on so that we knew when we needed to light the bat signal and organize a response to support our Democratic school board members and to push back against these terrible racist and anti-LGBTQ actions. We are relatively new and a very specific club. We are proud to have increased our membership by 42.3% in 2023. We are also, like education as a whole, more women identifying, but we are proud to have membership equally distributed throughout the county. That is a big deal for us. We participated with the party to support the Democratic Club Summit. We passed out buttons there. We spoke on the education panel at the Democratic Women's Club, and we spoke on a panel at the San Diego County Democratic Convention on defending against right-wing attacks. Here are our meetings this year. We really focused on trying to make our meetings worthwhile in an off season. In January, we elected our e-board and we created an action plan for 2024 candidate recruitment and training. We've been working hard on that since. In February, we actually deferred to our sister club at Black and African Women Rise. They had a Barbara Lee talk back, and so we adjourned early so that our members could join that talk back. It was a fantastic opportunity. We wanted to support our sister club. In March, we had a very powerful panel called Uphill Both Ways, Extra Barriers Faced by Black Candidates for School Board. It was co-sponsored by the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Democratic Club and the Black and African Women Rise Democratic Club. Our speakers were Sharday Bell, Bill Ponder, Marquita Brown, Nicole Jones, and Alice Pipkin Allen. It was a really raw conversation about anti-Blackness faced by these amazing candidates, even in the Democratic Party. In April, we did Let's Talk About Sex Ed with speakers Sabrina Bazo and Ann Crosby. We talked about what sex ed is and isn't. There are a lot of misconceptions around that issue. In May, we did How the Heck Does California School Funding Work? Our speaker was Mike Nzunza from CSBA. He made complicated California education budgets simpler. It's not just lottery money anymore. In June, LGBTQIA Pride, Local History, Do's and Don'ts, and Queer Issues in Schools had speakers Lauren Cazares and Martin Campos from Dems for Equality, Shane Parmley, a queer teacher, and Nadia Keen-Ayub from Rainbow Spaces. It was not just a 101 basics of LGBTQ issues, but what our kids are facing with these right-wing attacks. In July, we had our one friendly incumbent endorsement consideration for school board members up in the primary. 100% of our endorsed candidates made it through their primaries or elections. Congratulations, Tana in Fallbrook. We were really proud of her. In August, we talked about community schools with speakers Rosie Martinez and Keisha Borden. It's a new model of schools that has shared leadership and addresses the needs of students and their families so that we can set our kids up for learning success. In September, we co-sponsored by the Labor Democratic Club, we did Working Together to Defend Education and Labor Rights with speakers Carol Kim from San Diego Building Trades, Rosie Martinez from CVE, Lucy Ugarte from SEA, Kyle Weinberg from SDEA, and Satomi Ziegler from the San Diego Labor Council. We did a deep dive into relationships between school boards and their labor partners. In October, we did Does Ethnic Studies Need Liberating? And this was a really powerful discussion that we're really proud of. It was moderated by Joshua Feder and myself, and the speakers were Dr. Lachey Sharp Collins, Dr. Sarah Brown, and Don Dumas, some of the best experts on the California Ethnic Studies curriculum and the Liberated Ethnic Studies curriculum. The difference being largely around Israel and the Jewish community. And this actually occurred just a few weeks after the Hamas attack in Israel. Thanks to our moderator, Joshua Feder, who's a psychologist specializing in treating children suffering from trauma from living in war zones, and our incredible panel, we were able to have an intense conversation with lots of feelings that was also peaceful and full of grace for each other. It would serve as a great model for these tough conversations around Israel in the larger party. In November, we did our very first candidate training. It was an incredible event. We got great feedback from that event. We hosted 16 brand new candidates, and they left with top to bottom training, not just on the political aspects of running for school board, which we covered it intensely, but also some great governance practice advice, including info on how to work with unions. In December, we had our sweater weather soiree, because we do have fun too. We got an opportunity to celebrate the good work we did throughout the year. We hope that you enjoyed our presentation today and that you will vote for San Diego Democratic Education Alliance for Club of the Year. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Trustee Bishop. All right. Pause that. Okay, we'll reset to 5 minutes. And any questions? I see a hand up. Justin Domocio, the floor is yours to ask a question.
Trustee Bishop,
Yes,
first,
sir.
thank you. Awesome presentation. My question is, as a queer person in North County, I think oftentimes queer people have that one teacher that's sort of like the safe harbor in the storm. How have you, as a queer woman, as a queer trustee running this club that's so dedicated towards fostering school board members, how have you seen the progression of conversations in terms of equitable policy evolve in your club? You know, what has that looked like since the beginning, where it started to where you are today?
Ooh, that's a fantastic question and so layered and nuanced. I have 4 minutes and 20 seconds to try and answer it, right? Basically, I've used my experience as a school board member to mentor other school board members throughout the county. A lot of people come to our meetings, not just our meetings, but our club as a whole, seeking advice on what to do in their district. So we've kind of worked as a kind of mentor situation for a lot of school board members that have gotten involved with our club. So for example, Heather Plotsky, who is a school board member in Poway, came to us and shared that with a program that a lot of school boards use in their district, Power Schools, when you re-register your child, it will show what their name is which is used on the campus. So if you have a trans child that is using different pronouns or has a different name, it would come up when their parents were re-registering them. And so we were able to bring that out into the light, and we are addressing it district by district now. But a lot of our school board members had never heard of that, and we're able to share that information in our meetings. And I've been able personally, as a queer school board member, to talk about my experiences as a kid and as an advocate for the LGBTQ community. But we try and act as mentors for as many school board members in the county that are interested in our help.
All right, thank you, Trustee Bishop. Greg Robinson, the floor is yours to ask a question.
President Bishop, thank you so much for what you've done for all of us who are serving on school boards. And I just wanted to ask your response. As you know, there's a lot of legal ambiguity about this whole issue about outing kids in school districts, depending upon which case you're talking about. Escondido, Chino, Chico, and I don't know if you just saw yesterday's paper.
All of them. Yeah.
Yeah, and about Murrieta. I mean, it's a mess out there. And so the actions of those of us and your club in particular to help school board members win their way through this complicated legal morass, what are you doing around this particular issue to help us and school boards try and make a principled decision given this legal mess?
Yeah, thank you for that question. There are so many legal implications of the work that we do, for sure. And in fact, we just had a presentation from Michelle O'Connor Ratcliffe, who was a plaintiff in a case that went to the Supreme Court recently around the legal implications of social media and school board members in particular. She was attacked with spam attacks on her personal page and whatnot. Anyway, she went over the Supreme Court ruling and how that affected our school board members. But we often have conversations within our roundtable around these legal issues and what can be done. We lean sometimes on our friends in California School Boards Association for legal advice on these things, which is actually something we are able to key into. We have some contacts there. But yeah, we act as mentors on all different kinds of issues, but especially on issues like that, where there are, legal implications on the work that we're doing as school board members. So we pride ourselves on being a great resource for different school board members and for people that work in schools and parents to find ways to navigate the systems, especially around the issues that are hot button issues right in our community, which especially are in CRT and LGBTQ issues. Those are two of the big ones that we're facing. But thank you for that question. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for responding.
All right. Thank you all. Okay, we've exhausted the time for the Democratic Education Alliance. Thank you, Trustee Bishop.
I'm
all
so
right,
sorry to exhaust you.
No worries. Next up, we have our final contestant, the Democratic Women's Club of San Diego County, excuse me. All right, to whom is presenting today?
My name is Hannah. I will be presenting for the Democratic Women's Club. And if I could share my screen, I would appreciate it.
You can now share your screen.
Wonderful, thank you.
All right, Hannah, as soon as your screen's up, just let me know. All right, the floor is yours for the next 7 minutes. Thank you, Hannah.
Beautiful. Good morning. Again, I am Hannah Green. I am the club secretary, and I'd like to share with you the past year of the Democratic Women's Club of San Diego. Chartered in April 2014, we are celebrating 10 years. That's right. Happy birthday to us. Our mission is to promote the goals and ideals of the Democratic Party with particular attention to increasing women's political participation at all levels of elected and appointed office. We demand equality of opportunity and a level playing field with fairness and equity for all. We completed 2023 with 142 members, most of whom have renewed for a current total of 108 members. We have club associates in the Metro West and North County Inland areas, as well as a California Democratic Party rep in AD 78. Our club president also consistently attends the Council of Clubs meetings. We're excited to announce that 7 of our members were recently elected to Central Committee on the public ballot. Our executive board consists of 9 women: Kathy Hyatt, Dr. Andrea Cubitt, Susan Pinetto, Beatrice Cubitt, Hannah Green, Angela DeJoseph, Patricia Wadowski, Elise Pipkin-Allen, and Mandy Havlick. In the past 12 months, we have hosted 10 well-executed hybrid meetings. These meetings satisfy the desire for face-to-face social contact, yet remain accessible to those with transportation challenges. We average 25 to 35 people in person at Elijah's and another 10 to 15 on Zoom. Our guest speakers have included Congresswoman Sarah Jacobs, as well as local presenters covering important topics like Black maternal mortality rates, the climate crisis, surviving child marriage, tenant rights, birthing centers, and trans joy. We have also featured panels taking deep dives into the homelessness crisis, school boards, and healthcare for trans kids and adolescents. We hosted a unique twist on candidate comments with our speed candidating session. Each candidate spent 5 minutes per table before rotating to the next. Over a dozen candidates participated in this very fun evening. In addition to our regular meetings, in June, we set up our club table at the La Mesa Juneteenth event. We handed out buttons, made beaded bracelets, and had a great time talking to voters about the upcoming special election. In July, we laced up our sneakers and we marched with pride. Congresswoman Jacobs was by our sides, and of course, we brought along our Monica signs. In December, we celebrated the year's end with a fun social where we welcomed our members and guests. Along with great music and food, we also enjoyed hearing from many impressive women candidates. The club took up many causes in 2023. We voted unanimously to support California Women's List with a $1,000 donation to help fund a study which analyzes the mental health impacts of hostility women candidates face in California. Her stories resulted in SB 1170, which would allow candidates to utilize campaign funds for mental health care. The DWC board sponsored a sexual assault awareness resolution, which calls upon law enforcement to provide annual reports of the backlog of untested sexual assault evidence kits. The resolution was authored by club members Lori Saldana and Danny Avisha. It gained unanimous support from the club and was adopted by the party. The DWC board sponsored another resolution written by board members and co-presidents of the Black and African Women Rise Democratic Club, Angela DeJoseph and Elise Pipkin-Allen. This resolution demands that the county Democratic Party, Central Committee members, and Democratic candidates denounce racist messaging and campaign literature. This resolution was also unanimously supported by the club and adopted by the party. The DWC also formally supported legislation. SB 525 ensures a $25 per hour pay rate for healthcare workers, and SB 474 prohibits price gouging in jail and prison canteens. Both of these bills have been signed into law. We also supported the San Diego Tenants' Right Ordinance, which was later adopted. Most recently, we signed onto a coalition of organizations and lawmakers fighting to prohibit child marriage in California, and we submitted a letter of support for AB 2924. The special election for Board of Supervisors, D4, saw us roll up our sleeves and work to elect Supervisor Monica Montgomery Stepp. We hosted a candidate spotlight, we hand-pressed buttons, we phone banked, and members held multiple fundraisers and waved signs at intersections. The results were worth it, and history was made. Speaking of history, February means Black History Month, and that means Women of Color Roar Breakfast. The Democratic Women's Club is a founding donor, and in addition to sponsoring a table, our members served in various capacities on the event committee and volunteered at the breakfast. The club also voted to donate additional funds to help cover unexpected costs resulting from the flood. The San Diego County Democratic Party provided multiple opportunities for the club to participate. First was the Roosevelt dinner, then the All Club Summit, where the DWC not only staffed a table, but club members participated on panels discussing leadership, activism, social media, and BIPOC clubs. The county convention was another opportunity for our board and members to network. 2023 was a year where we were intentional about boosting our presence, not only with fun social media posts, but with our unique club t-shirts. Union printed and tie-dyed by hand, they were a huge hit. Lastly, our most unique accomplishment is the development of our very own mobile app. The app provides pictures, videos, and detailed information about our meetings, causes, and upcoming events. Search DWC of SD wherever you get your apps and download it for free. Thank you again for visiting some of the highlights from our 10th year. We are so excited to make a difference in 2024 and beyond. The future starts now. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Democratic Women's Club of San Diego County. Okay, we'll reset the timer for 5 minutes and go into our question and answer period. Would anyone like to ask a question of the Democratic Women's Club? Would anyone like to ask a question of the Democratic Women's Club? Oh, Justin, go ahead. Your hand's up.
My question is, given that we have a Democratic majority, I know your presentation talked a lot about child marriage and how it's still legal in California. How has your membership talked about that conversation with lobbying for their assembly member or members, plural, to get this law changed so that child exploitation in the form of child marriage is no longer legal in a democratic state? I feel like that might be, is that a galvanizing force for lobbying in your club is the real question.
Yes. Hi, I'm Kathy. I'm the president of the club. And I will say that we have had the organization Unchained at Last speak at several of our meetings. And one of our board members is a child marriage survivor. So we have kind of a direct link into that issue. And we all have been working very hard trying to get SB 2924, AB 2924 through committees. Unfortunately, we've just hit a snag. So we've been using social media toolkit to get the word out and try to get the folks on the committee flooded with emails and social media posts and that sort of thing. It's actually a regrouping time probably right now. And we're also planning an in-person event, and Unchained at Last is going to be in Sacramento at some point soon. And we're monitoring all that very closely, and we're going to help assist any way we can.
Thank you, Hannah. This is a very important issue to me. Personally, I had a friend from middle school that was put into a child marriage, and I think it's horrible. So thank you for what your club is doing. Awesome presentation, awesome advocacy.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right. Any other questions for the Democratic Women's Club? Any other question for the Democratic Women's Club? Any other question for the Democratic Women's Club, San Diego County? All right. Hearing none, we are done with our presentations. I will close the timer. Madam Chair, we have, I'm going to pass the ball over to you for how we're going to be doing our voting today, because you, I believe, have the app.
Yes, I do. So before we do that, I have a few quick credentialing questions. Judy DeBroughton, am I correct in guessing you're here on behalf of the Valley Center Democratic Club? I'm just trying to credential the last people that we don't have.
Yes, I am here.
Okay, great. So you will be voting on their behalf. And then we also have George Phillips. George, are you going to be voting on behalf of your club? And if so, what club is that? George? Does anyone know who George is representing? If he's representing someone? Okay. Hearing none, I will continue to have him not listed for a club. Marilee, I know you gave the presentation. I believe Frank King is voting on behalf of the club. He's got the initial. Just want to double check that assumption, Frank or Marilee.
It will be Frank. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay. And Latina Democratic Club, who is that? We do ask to know who the representative is.
It's Brenda.
Brenda. Okay. Yes. Okay, there we go. Wonderful. Okay, George, you will be representing the Rancho Santa Fe Democrats. Just want to make sure that we're giving everyone who should have the opportunity to vote the opportunity to vote. So the rules are we allow only one representative per club to vote. We are going to be doing this ranked choice because we love to promote ranked choice, and it's a nice, fair way to give people a chance to highlight not just the club they like the most, but other clubs as well. You're all wonderful. If I want to give you all a award, is that okay? But nonetheless, we're going to have to do this. So I'm going to just give you I'm going to be sending each person that's a voting member a link in the chat. And then when you get that link, this is a preview. I'm just going to go through what you will do. Now, if you have trouble doing this and you need to tell us who you are voting for, you can do so by putting in the chat or calling me if you need to, or speak up if you're having trouble utilizing this app. But you will get this link. When you get this link, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to click on it, and this is the screen that will pop up. It's going to ask for your name and your email or unique ID. In this case, I want you to put in the name of your club. So this is a demo. I am not voting for the Blue Dream Democratic Club. I'm not going to be voting as director of clubs, but as an example, here's my name. Here's the club I represent. So in the space where it says email or unique ID, please put the name of your club. On the next screen, the order of which these are shown is random. You're going to drag the one that and I'm just randomly dragging here. This is not a indication of my preference. You're going to drag the club that you most want to see get this award to the top, and then you're going to rank the other clubs going down. Good luck to all of you. I'm kind of glad I'm not voting because I don't think I could pick. You'd all be number one. So you're going to put your preference, the club that you most want, second most want, third most want, fourth most want, and fifth most want. And mind you, I am randomly dragging and dropping. The order of which these will appear on your screen is also random, okay? After you have the order of the clubs in the way you'd like to see them, and if you have if you're doing it on your phone, you can drag it with your finger, you can drag it with your mouse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're then going to click submit, okay? Now you can check out the preliminary results after you click submit and see what is happening. And here we all get a sample of how ranked choice voting works. Again, this is a preview. This is not the actual winner, and this is not the actual number of votes. This is simply showing you how the votes are going. So it gives you a chance to preview ranked choice voting and a chance to see what the results are as they appear. So does anyone have any questions before we start providing this link in the chat only to the members who have a club after their name? Any questions about that process before I start sending out this link? And I'm going to just be sending it individually in the chat to everyone to whom there is a club after their name. Okay, everybody ready for this? And if you do not receive a link, I'll let you know when I've sent all of the links. If you have not received a link and you believe that you should receive a link, let me know, but after I get through sending the link. I haven't sent the link to everyone yet. I'm on that right now. I have sent the link to Judy de Broughton, Elise Pipkin Allen. I'm now sending it to Ben on behalf of the Imperial Beach Democratic Club. So I'm just naming you off as I'm sending this to make sure I'm sending it to the right people. Brenda Geary on behalf of the Latina Democratic Club, sending you the link. Kathy Hyatt on behalf of the Democratic Women's Club, I'm sending you the link now. And just going down the line. Chi-Wu Chan on behalf of the Carlsbad Democratic Club, sending you the link now. Cipriano Vargas, Democratic Club of Vista. It's so nice to see everyone here today. Sending you the link now. Cody Vieira on behalf of the San Diego Young Democrats, sending you this link now. Cynthia Jurado on behalf of um, Spring Valley Lemon Grove Democratic Club, sending you the link now. Okay, David Fisher, sending the link to David Fisher on behalf of the Point Loma Democratic Club. Okay, Donna Cowlin, thank you for being here. Sending you the link on behalf of the Oceanside Democratic Club. Elias Velazquez on behalf of the Hidden Valley Democratic Club, sending you the link now. Frank King on behalf of the Coronado Democratic Club, sending you this link now. I'm just naming off people's names and clubs to make sure that everyone is also credentialed correctly as I do this. I hope that's okay with everyone. George Phillips on behalf of the Rancho Santa Fe Democratic Club, I've sent you the link. Georgine Tomasi on behalf of the Escondido Democratic Club, I've sent you the link. Gloria Conejo on behalf of Escondido Young Democrats, sent you the link as well. Greg Hodosevich, no, you are here as a guest, so I'm not sending you the link. Greg Robinson on behalf of the Labor Democratic Club, sending you the link now. Okay. Hugh Rothman on behalf of the Rancho Bernardo Democratic Club, sending you the link now. James Moffett on behalf of the Chula Vista Democratic Club, sending you the link now. Jordan Lackford on behalf of the YIMBY Democratic Club, sending you the link now. Let's see. Justin Domicillo on behalf of the AAPI Democratic Club, sending you the link now. Carl Rand on behalf of the Pacific Beach Democratic Club, sending you the link now. Kate Bishop on behalf of the Dem Educational Alliance, sending you the link now. Let's see. Next up, Marquita Brown on behalf of the East Lake Bonita Democratic Club. Your link is in the chat. Michelle Sear on behalf of DEMCO, sending you the link now. Mohammed Rahimi on behalf of the East County Democratic Club, sending you the link now. Let's see. Paul Mendoza on behalf of San Marcos Democratic Club, sending you the link now. And let's see who else is in my chat. Okay, Paula McCormick on behalf of La Jolla Democratic Club, sending you the link now. Pete Babich on behalf of Poway Democratic Club, sending you the link now. Phil Courier on behalf of the Torrey Pines Democratic Club, sending you the link now. Ross Pike on behalf of Democrats for Equality, sending you the link now. And Ryan Tribuco on behalf of the Claremont Democratic Club, sending you the link now. Susan Hanson on behalf of the Association Alliance Democratic East County, I hope I've said that right, sending you the link now. Tasneem Rahimi, sending you the link now. On behalf of the Pakistani Democratic Club, Tana Radarti on behalf of the Fallbrook Democratic Club, sending you the link now. Dr. Tamika Cook on behalf of the MLK Democratic Club, sending you the link now. And who do I have? Bill Fowler on behalf of the Oak Tree Democratic Club, sending you the link now. Is there anyone that I missed that would like to, that should be voting, that would like to vote and is here representing a club? Has anyone not received the link? If anyone is having any trouble voting, feel free to speak up or to put it in the chat. And I can always, vote for you if you're having trouble accessing.
This is Suzanne Hanson. I am having trouble. I cannot see the link. I'm in the chat.
You cannot see the link. Okay, let me try again. Maybe I somehow didn't do that correctly. Let me send it to you one more time.
Okay, I think I've got it now. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Again, anyone feel free to speak up if you're having any issues.
Madam Director?
Yes.
Can I just say, can you please send us the template for this voting thing? This is amazing. We want to do ranked choice in our club, but it's so challenging to do on Zoom. We would love, I know that I'm sure the other club presidents would like to have access to this form of voting.
I was second to that.
It also, at the very bottom of where you're looking at the results coming in, it has a sign up button to sign up to the website for those who are interested.
Madam Chair, are we getting real-time results in as this goes?
We are, yes.
Do you mind sharing your screen? Because those of us who aren't voting can't see.
I kind of don't want it to influence people's vote that haven't
No
voted
worries,
yet.
no worries. Good call,
So-
good call. Sorry, my bad.
Wow.讲什么的 Education Alliance？ God.
I'll fix lunch after this is over. I'll fix lunch after this is over.
Whatever you are. Giving a golden answer.
Okay.
All right, some of you folks, I just go ahead and muted y'all, but I could eat.
Okay, is anyone still voting? At this point, we have 36 votes, I'm counting at this point. Is anyone still working on voting? Okay, putting out the call again. Is anyone still voting? Has anyone not yet completed their voting who wishes to vote?
Sonar,
Yes.
I am having trouble with my screen. I cannot
Okay.
move the clubs from one to another, one position to another. It's locked.
When you use your mouse, you can't drag up and drag down.
No.
So you put the mouse on top of it and then drag up, and then put
The
the mouse on
first,
top of it. And
when I first logged in about 5 minutes ago, I was able to move one up. It went up 3 positions and then it stopped. And I haven't been able to do anything since that point. I've been fussing and fussing.
Have you tried refreshing the screen?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, like I said, the other option, if we're experiencing technical difficulties, I should be able to enter it for you if you want to put your votes in the chat. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm happy to do that.
Let me see what I can do. Let me try one more time here.
Okay. We're also all learning about the app.
Madam Chair,
Justin?
if I may, David, what operating system and what browser are you using? Do you know? Is this like a Mac? Is this a PC?
It's a laptop, a HP. It's Windows 11.
Okay, so you might have like a refresh error going on. If you can't get it to work, I would recommend just like closing your browser completely, just like a hard close and then reopening it. I'm not sure if you know how to remove your cookies, but that's also a good secondary step to troubleshoot that when those scripts aren't rendering correctly. So sorry for your technical difficulty.
Okay, let me see here again. Every time I do a refresh, I have to sign in again, which is a little cumbersome. Okay.
That was fascinating. It's like a horse race.
It's rather fascinating.
Mhm.
At our club, we tend to do elimination rounds, which is slow moving ranked choice, but this does get it there faster.
Yeah.
Most people make choices. Oh.
But it's also good to know the system issues that people have. So just thank you all for being my guinea pigs.
I presume I'm supposed to use 2 fingers to move these things around, right?
I just use my mouse. I don't touch screens are always so touchy.
Well, I don't have a touch screen. I have the virtual mouse. It's just a flat surface.
Oh yeah. I just
on the laptop.
click and hold. I just press down and hold.
Click and hold.
Yeah, click and drag.
No, that's not working.
Okay.
Uh,
Again, since we're down to the
so
last
where,
one,
where's the chat that I would
the chat here, right here in Zoom. If you look at the bottom, there's a chat. It's at the bottom of your Zoom screen. Should be a chat box.
Unfortunately, when I'm in ranked vote, I don't see a chat screen or chat line.
So if you go to your Zoom,
can you, because you're the director of clubs, if David like texts you his list, can you sign on for him and just do
yes,
it
I
to
can.
update the total?
That's exactly what I'm going to do. Yes.
Text you. That'd be good. Let's see here.
Madam Chair, Brenda Geary said she was just kicked out of the, or like dropped off the meeting. I'm texting her right now. Is she
Yeah,
here?
that would be her internet. We certainly haven't removed her. So
James, are you with Brenda right now?
Okay, Sonara, I'm going to be texting. Excuse me, Sonara.
Mm-hmm.
I'm texting to 619-208-0566.
That works. That works just fine. Thank you.
Okay.
Was Brenda able to vote before she lost connectivity?
Yeah, she voted.
Okay,
I think she's trying to get back in.
Yeah, she's welcome to rejoin. We haven't done anything that otherwise remove her from that.
Madam Chair,
There was
while
a
we're
comment.
waiting.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. You were saying.
I was just saying there was a comment in the chat about whether or not I could send out the ranked choice voting system and the timer in our next email, and I will do so. I'm also learning about this timer, and I think it is wonderful. So,
I believe you have to download it in the app section. But yeah, it's actually, I'm gonna be stealing some too. Madam Chair, real quick while we're waiting, North Coastal and North Inland are canceled for tomorrow, correct? Or today?
yes, that's what I believe.
Okay.
I know North Coastal is. If someone wants, I believe North Inland is too. Unless someone wants to correct me, that's my
Yes, North
understanding.
Inland is canceled as well.
Okay, thank you.
I'm sad North
David?
Inland canceled because that did Fire Director Ross Pike wrong. That's all.
Okay, Sonara,
I got it. I've
Yeah.
got it. I've got it. I will submit it for you right now. So okay.
I appreciate it so much.
No
Sorry
problem.
for
I'm
that
sorry
delay.
that. Oh, yeah. There's always a
This is
technical issue.
I've had this laptop for 1 month, and I guess this is a wrinkle I'm dealing with. I don't know.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, perfect. There you go. Okay, your vote has been submitted. With that, I am going to, anyone else need to vote? If not, I will be closing the vote for this contest. Anyone else? Going once, going twice. Let me go ahead and close the contest. The contest has been closed and I will show the results on my screen. So we are going to view these results. And I think most of you have seen it because having completed this, you have also seen the results. So there we have it. The Democratic Educational Alliance with 19 of the 37 votes is the winner. So congratulations, Democratic Educational Alliance. You are officially Club of the Year.
I cannot
So thank
tell
you.
how much that means to me. Thank you so much to all of you. We've only existed since 2021 and we've fought really hard to try and make an impact, and we really appreciate your support. Thank you all.
Mary Lee?
Oh, well, congratulations to the winner. I do have a question. Whatever happened to the resolution of separating the award between affinity clubs and geographical locations?
I was overwritten by higher party powers. Or Dr. Banerjee, you wanted to say something about this?
Yeah, there are certain regulations on that. We will be discussing that in the future.
Do me a favor, aside from discussing them, could you do me a favor and also share that with all clubs? I think it's extremely important to validate the efforts of geographical clubs. Extreme differences in how we approach our work. I say that because I am a strong defender of democracy. I know the work that's been done in the Coronado Democratic Club and in how we can motivate and educate and inspire other geographic clubs to do the same is very important as we strive for obtaining recognition for our work. But then again, it's not about the award, it's about the tremendous effort that we do united. So once again, thank you so much for the winner. Shout out for our work, for your work, and again, thank you so much for listening.
Dr. Banerjee, do you want me to take this back?
Oh, yeah, no, Madam Chair, I will pass the gavel back to you. I believe Justin Domocio has his hand up.
He does.
I will go ahead and, before I pass the ball, actually, I'll just pass the gavel back to y'all. And then I will.
Thanks. Justin, please feel free to speak.
All right, so two things. First, super huge, grateful that Dem Alliance won. I really love Trustee Kate Bishop. She is our queer goddess pioneer. But secondly, I want to remind people that we are a democracy. And even though we were overruled by higher powers in the party, I do think that we probably could still recognize a geographic club with the motion. I'll make a card, I don't care, to recognize a geographic club, as I think we should, because year after year after year, geographic clubs are disenfranchised, and it comes down to a failure in leadership, and it's wrong. And the Council of Clubs and the club level should not continue to be overruled by select insular people in the party. It's extremely violent and inappropriate, and we need to finally say no, enough is enough. You have to respect the clubs and take them seriously. So with that being said, I move to recognize the geographic club runner-up as a co-club of the year, and hope that somebody will second.
Second. Cipriano from Vista Dems.
That motion.
May I second that? Sorry, Cipriano, can I second that, please? Is that okay if I second that?
I take my second back.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Thank
everyone,
you.
our hands are
I
tied
really
on this
want to
one.
recognize.
I would be happy that we recognize at our club summit, the geographic club as well as the affinity club. I tried. I was very unhappy that we lacked this autonomy, and I made that point very clear. it did not result in effective, moving that ball. But I see a number of hands up, so I'm just going to start. Marquita Brown. You're on mute, Marquita. If you'd like to speak, please unmute.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I was actually sitting, taking care of some business, but I just wanted to say congratulations to the San Diego Education Alliance Club, but also to all of our clubs that were nominated. The presentations were amazing. Thank you for the work and for constantly staying in power to do the work. It is very hard.
Yes.
It's very tedious. But just the nominations alone, I commend each and every club president, vice president, their board, but for staying in the work and for keeping our democracy alive here in San Diego County. So often we're not seen as the party right now that is doing positive work with positive leaders. And the clubs that were exemplified today, they definitely stand out and do great work. Also wanted to give a big shout out to Coronado Democratic Club. I love the work that they're doing, especially down here in the South Bay. And so just keep up that powerful work. And I look forward to seeing hopefully everyone at our convention in May. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Congratulations, Kate. And congratulations to our nominations. Thank you.
Dr. Tamika Cook.
I'm glad you keep giving me a doctorate title, and thank you very much, but I'm not a doctor.
Oh, it's the Dr. Martin MLK Club. I thought because Dr. MLK, I assumed it was Dr. Tamika Cook.
It will be, but not anytime soon. I would like to congratulate the San Diego Education Alliance, Democratic Alliance Club as well. And I would also like to thank, the runner-up. I think that we should go with Justin's idea to have to split it. However, I believe that we should wait until we get a new central committee body in there that may have different goals and mindsets and morals of what the party should look like and how it should go into the future. So I think we should wait, because I believe that I, as a club president, am an advocate of everybody. So please just hold off on it until at least January, or even February, so we can actually get the people in, and I will lobby. And I have a very powerful voice, if you guys don't know. So yeah, so just wait. Our time is coming. Our time is coming.
Thank you for your advocacy on behalf of the club. I do my best, everyone. I'm up there trying. Sometimes I am able to affect change. Sometimes I don't get the way that I feel the clubs would want things to go. And unfortunately, this was one of those instances. Ruby Baker?
Yeah, I'm a VP of the San Diego Ed Club, but I have to say I was super impressed by all the presentations. I'll be honest, as a teacher, I'm like taking notes like, oh my God, I love that. I love that. I love that. They were they were amazing presentations. So like, hands up to clap for everybody, because those were great. Coronado, awesome as well. I'm down in the South Bay. I'm like, I wonder if maybe I can start, attending some of these other clubs. So it's very motivating to see all the work that's being done. Thanks.
Riviera?
Hey, yeah, echo what everyone else said. Congratulations to the Dem Ed Alliance and the other clubs. I did just want to flag if this body did decide to end up doing two, I would want to make sure that we did it right, because if you were to do it, you should, the way you would do it with the ranked choice is you would still need to redistribute those who voted for the Dem Ed Alliance as their first choice to make sure they had a vote in the geographic one. But I know we might not be doing that. I just wanted to flag that. And then also I will say, there is precedent. A few years ago, there was a tie, and Dems for Equality and La Mesa Dems did share the award. So just wanted to throw that out there as well. So, yep.
That was very much brought up in the argument. We had originally planned, the nominating committee had asked for this to be divided. I had said yes, believing it was my prerogative. And I announced it. It went out in the emails. I received a phone call yesterday saying that would not be the case. I brought up that example, and I brought up the example of myself, who once was a Volunteer of the Year award winner, who shared it with someone else. Fell on deaf ears. Here we are. But again, I'm happy to once again, to look at honoring more clubs at our club summit in August, which we will be talking about shortly. So Tana,
sorry,
Rodati?
could I sorry, I know this was discussed like over the years as well. So it's something I said before, but I just want to make sure. If we do look at a bylaw change, I want to make sure that there's a way to incorporate the academic clubs, which technically are a third type in the party bylaws, even though we don't have as many right now, whether they be counted as affinity or geographic. Just yeah.
Yeah, no, that's so important. And I've seen the Fallbrook has a high school Democratic club. Coronado has a high school Democratic club. I saw it in the presentation. It would be so great if we could start bringing them into our little circle a little more so we can better support them. Tana?
Well, we're also working on Bonsall High School. My husband teaches there, even though he's not a Democrat, he's an NPP. He's actively working with Democrats there to change the school district Democratic and get students involved. First off, I just want to congratulate all the finalist clubs that were nominated. The presentations were great. You're obviously all doing amazing work. I'm very proud of all of us Democrats. Two, congratulations to the Democratic Education for Alliance for Education, who I do get to represent on the North County Inland Club. It's an honor. They do amazing work and they really do help drive priority for education. I agree. We should separate, as you attempted this year, geographic clubs versus specialty clubs. But I agree. Let's go through the process properly. Let's bring in the newly elected central committee. Let's have them take the time to, address it in bylaws so that, when it comes to us, there is no question about that. And we will all just continue to learn from one another, grow and improve. Thanks. Congratulations, Kate.
Hey, Kate, your hand is up next.
Thank you so much. And again, I absolutely support the motion to have a geographic and an affinity club winner. I think that we are all doing really good work, and we are, as Marley pointed out, we're doing very different work. In addition to saying I support, and also those presentations were so great. I was shaking in my boots the whole time I was watching. So I really appreciate all of your work, and you guys were doing I'm so impressed with everybody. But I also wanted to say, we, the Democratic Education Alliance, would love to partner with any clubs that are interested in talking about education in their club meetings. We will travel to wherever you are. We have people all over the county that can show up to wherever you are, be you geographic or affinity club. We would love to address the issues around education in your clubs if you would have us. So this is a call out to please reach out to us, demetalliance@gmail.com, if you would like to have any kind of presentation in your club. Thanks.
Ben Swearingen from the Imperial Beach Dem Club.
Yeah, hi, I'm Ben Swearingen, the associate member. I'm the membership chair for the Imperial Beach Club. I was just wondering, I'm kind of assuming that the argument for separating them is, geographic obviously represents locales. The affinity, maybe because it's in the name affinity, people join because of they're passionate about a topic, and maybe that gives an advantage. Although I wanted to congratulate Kate and her organization. I mean, just the amount of energy and effort it takes to put those kind of different presentations and speakers and stuff together is definitely well deserved win. So not to diminish that at all, but that's what I'm assuming the argument is. What is the central committee? What's their argument as to why we shouldn't separate them?
This was not a central committee decision. I got a call from the executive director. The argument was we have enough awards and it would diminish the importance of the award if we were to give two. I disagreed with these points. But again, this was not something I believed it to be within my purview per the bylaws. It was a call made by the executive director of the party.
Okay. Well, anyways, thank you all for your presentation. Congratulations to all the nominees. I got a lot of ideas. I took notes.
I know.
For how to
They
build
were
our
so
club.
cool.
So thank you.
They were terribly cool. I love you all. Ryan Tribuco, representing Claremont Democratic Club.
Thank you, Snara. Yeah, I guess my thought is, since Justin did make a motion and then I presume Kate seconded it, even if it's just a symbolic vote, I still think we should probably vote on that.
Yeah.
Because that could be a talking point for potentially, if there is a proposal to officially split it through the bylaws, which would go then to admin committee. So this would be, just even, again, it may be a symbolic vote, but at least it's something that we would have to present to admin committee for splitting.
I think that is a wonderful idea. If we want to do that via a show of hands, we can, like you said, it would be symbolic, but I think it's worth having the symbolic vote. So I have a number of, we haven't said, I haven't called for the vote yet. So if you're all raising your hand to call for the vote, I'm not there yet because there was still one comment. Marilee Ramirez's hand was up, and then I will then call for that vote.
Yeah, just one comment. I love the discussion right now because, well, first of all, Sanara, thank you so much for letting us know you tried, it didn't work. And just a comment to the executive director is, don't they know how Oscars and Grammys separate these awards? But if that's just one comment. And the second comment, and I think is the most important one, moving forward, what I would love to see is that we're not chasing an award. We're chasing the applause that we're all should be recognized for, right? The work we're doing. And whether it's the summit, a convention, whatever you want to name it, bring forums together where we talk about that was badass. Now I want to follow them. Or, you know what a grand idea. If I'm going to defend democracy, I won't reinvent the wheel. I'm going to do what they're doing. And that should be the most, the most important recognition here, that we're doing amazing work, that we have to unite, that we have to push hard, and perhaps an award that wasn't provided right now, the division of this or that, it's just put that aside. What an amazing work we've all done. What an amazing push we're doing together. So to me, it's a shout out to everyone, from you, Sanara, to everyone, every member in every club, because it takes unity, it takes a village, and we're that village. And I'm so proud to be part of that village. Thank you.
Wonderful. So with that in mind, I'd like to honor the motion that was made and call for a vote. I think a hand vote would be appropriate. All those in favor of supporting that the party in future years divide the Club of the Year award between geographic and affinity clubs, please raise your hand.
Point of order, was that the actual motion?
I believe so. If I've miscaptured it, someone.
Justin, can you clarify your motion?
Yes, that is the original. Yes, that was the original motion.
Thank you.
Okay. I have a thumbs up from someone. Is that supposed to be a hand? Okay. Yeah.
I'm trying to raise my hand, but I don't see anything. Sonara, can I just say it's Elise Pipkin-Allen and I vote yes?
Yes, you can.
It's for those looking for it. It's in the reactions. If you go to the little smiley
in the
face with the plus.
I see some hands raised that can't count as votes, and that's okay, but I'm going to just count the ones that are the representatives of clubs. So I have here 1, 2, 3, 4.
So there's 27 votes, Madam Chair.
Yes, but some are by people that aren't representing a club. Okay, so. Okay, it looks like we now have 28 votes from
Why have I just,
clubs. Yes, sorry.
why have I this, this is Dave. Why have I
Yes.
disappeared from the screen? I
Oh,
don't see my name.
It is definitely there. You are there and I see you. So sometimes
Okay,
it moves people around on the screen. Don't worry about that. It's not a reflection of whether or not your vote is counted. So I see 28 on the screen.
So
Plus,
you've got my vote is
Elise's.
counted.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And Elise is counted as well. Would anybody like to, I'm going to lower all hands and then we will ask, what do we lower hands? Where's the lower hands button? Anyone? Lower hands. Is that in participants? How do we lower all hands? Someone help me here. I'm blinking on this. Reactions. How do I lower all hands? Anyone?
I don't know.
I know there's a way to do it. Yes, we're all learning Zoom over and over again.
It was in the participants tab, but I think they moved it. It's really annoying.
It might be under
Anyways.
Already done.
We're all down. We're all down.
Okay, we're all down. So with that in mind, anyone who is against the motion to split the Club of the Ward year for future years into geographic versus affinity clubs, please raise your hand if you are against the motion. This is for people that are against splitting the award, geographic versus affinity clubs, who do not wish to split the award. Okay, I see one hand is raised. Would anyone else like to vote? 29 to 1. We have 29 to 1 for the motion. So again, this is a symbolic vote at this point. We don't have, you know, we do not get to resolve this ourselves, but I will certainly forward it on to the e-board as well with this conversation. Thank you, everyone. So I see 2 hands raised for comments, I believe. Justin, if you would like to go first.
First, I want to thank this body for supporting my motion and just say that I will be making plaques for Geographic and our winning club, Dem Club, the Dem Ed Alliance, and I'll be donating that at the club summit. I will submit that to Sonara and this body for final ratification and approval, of course, because we are a democracy. But I believe very strongly that at least we should, as a committee, recognize excellence when we have the opportunity to do so, even outside of one person, you know, acting like a dictator in the party, because we are a democracy and a committee, not a dictatorship led by an executive. Thank you.
Okay. So with that in mind, please stay on the line, everyone, because we will be talking a little bit about the Democratic Club Summit before we adjourn. Miss Cook, Tamika, floor is yours.
Thank you. I was going to say that maybe if we ask the winning club if they will yield time to the at the Roosevelt dinner to the runner-up club to present, you know, to to come on stage and say a thank you, and we as the body, because some of us do have print shops, we can make our own certificate and plaques and stuff, and give them award as well. That way it's not coming from the party, it's coming from us.
I will speak to my e-board because I don't do anything unilaterally, of course, but I will speak to my e-board about the possibility of doing that, of course.
Okay, Cody Vieira.
Well, I had an announcement, but I just want to remind folks that the vote we took didn't separate them. So if like the people who voted for the Dem Ed Alliance didn't get a vote in the geographic, so that would be like a separate thing. I don't know, Sonara, if you can like update it to take away Dem Ed Alliance as a choice to see that, but anyway. But my announcement was going to be we have the San Diego County Young Democrats is hosting a welcome party for the CDPE board / CYD convention in May on that Friday, and everyone is welcome. It is free entry thanks to the sponsors, both current and forthcoming, including Congressman Scott Peters. And so I've posted that on our social media if anyone's interested. We're hoping to get RSVPs just to help us get a head count for like food and stuff. But yeah, please check that out.
Okay. We're not quite to announcements yet. So anyone else has
Oh, I'm
announcements?
so sorry. I thought you
Put
said,
it at the
I
end.
thought you were saying announcements, but my bad.
No.
Okay.
No. We're not quite there yet. I have a few more things that is important to this body that I want people to hear before we get there. Cynthia?
I am still on the point of this resolution or this vote.
Mhm,
I
yes.
just feel that an interesting point is that everyone that sits in this Zoom is a volunteer. And the individual who made the decision, while he may be grossly underpaid, is paid. And so this recognition is oftentimes the only time that people get a chance in a large body to be thanked for countless hours of thankless work. And saying it twice doesn't seem like we've done too much, but perhaps too little.
I believe me, I am considering sharing this recording after this meeting so that people can hear the sentiments that were expressed here. So,
because I love the idea of all of those clubs having a moment in the sun. You know, I'm a small club. You know, what we might not ever be considered, but having my fellow clubs considered makes me feel like I got a moment in the sun. Listening to their presentations brought me such joy for those hours of volunteers. I am crushed that someone would say 2 is too many when 2 is simply not enough.
But yeah, we work hard, and it's sometimes I also feel the frustration of thinking people don't understand what it takes. So I do need to move on in the agenda, everyone. But Tana, would you like to say something before I do?
I thank you for the last comment. I'm sorry I didn't see the name of the
Cynthia.
speaker.
Cynthia Harado.
Cynthia, thank you. Such genuine generosity in your thought. I do feel that this year, in light of the attempts that were made to change it, I think we should probably follow the process that is in place. It could open the door for other issues that I would hate to see. I think what we've seen today is the sense of unity that our group has brought, and CNR can take that back to the e-board, and the new central board, you know, can take this information moving forward, but wouldn't want to change or upset anything that is established procedure at this point.
Correct. Yes. And I appreciate Cody's suggestion. I can actually take out them Educational Alliance and see where the votes would land for Geographic Club. I have all that information on the back end. Cody, I'm assuming your hand up is from before. Is that correct? Okay, good. Okay, so real quick, before we get on to announcements, which are also important, I want to make sure everyone knows about the endorsement timeline coming up, because this is important. So if you want to get your vote in there. Friendly incumbent designation, Chris Galicia at the South Area Caucus on May 6th. We will have Chris Galicia for Southwestern Community College Board, as well as Adrian Aranciba for Sweetwater Union High School Board 2. We will also be considering the friendly incumbent designation of Rosina Lizargo for National School Board and Michelle Gates. And these are all friendly incumbent designations. So I'm not aware of an opponent to any of these people at this time. Per the bylaws, if there are multiple Democratic candidates, they must both be invited and given a chance to speak. On May 18th, North Inland Area Caucus, there is the friendly incumbent designation for Doug Paulson, Teresa Kristen, and an endorsement consideration for Poway Unified School Board District A. So if your club would like to vote on any of these, please schedule your endorsement meeting at least 48 hours in advance of these upcoming caucuses, if you would like your representative to vote in these considerations. If there is multiple Dems in these races, I haven't checked if there is. That's actually a good thought. SD Dems, candidate contact. This candidate contact is where we can check if there are other Dems in the race. So I'm double checking right now here. I'm not aware of any Dems that are in these races besides the incumbents, but here we go. Okay. So we have This has now been embedded. This before was just an Airtable, and now it's an embedded Airtable, but it's the same information. So this is where we check to see if we need to invite multiple candidates. So going down here, let's see. National. So National City Council. Okay, we now have a competitor, National City Council, if you're looking to consider that in the future, but that's not where I want to see. National School Board, Michelle Gates and Rosina Lizargo. So there are 2 candidates, and there are 2 seats and 2 candidates for those seats. Someone who's better with Robert's rules than I, does that mean that we have to do the full we have to do the full endorsement anyways, even though there's just 1 Dem in the race. So yeah, if you want to get the person there, the only time that you can relax those rules is if the party's already made an endorsement. And because we want to vote on these at our regional caucuses, we will need as clubs to have held a consideration in advance.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
Because National City does top 2 or top 3 voting, it is considered that we only have the number of candidates as there are seats. So it would be unbound voting at this point.
Thank you. Thank you. That was what I was wondering about. Yes. Okay, great. So then, okay. So yes, our representative is unbound if there are not multiple candidates in the race. If there are multiple candidates in the race, our representative is bound. So then coming up on May 18th, we have the friendly incumbent Dana King for Solana Beach and Catherine Sewell for Solana Beach, Heather Coughlin for Mira Costa College trustee, Tony Krantz for Encinitas mayor. There will also be the consideration of the endorsement recommendation in Carlsbad City Council District 2. That is a competitive seat with multiple Dems. Carlsbad Unified School District Area 2, Carlsbad Unified School District Area 3, and San Diego Union High School Board of Trustees Area 2. So these are all 4 open seats, and as well as Vista Unified School District Area 5. So it appears that we don't have an incumbent. These are all open seats. I do not know if there's multiple Democratic candidates in these races. But again, if you want your club to consider them before the caucus, this is the date. It's on May 17th. In the East area, they will be considering FIE endorsements in the Lemon Grove School Board, 2 seats. The Lemon Grove School Board, 1 seat short term, Jasmine Smith. So there's 2 seats at large, Cheryl Robertson and Yahaira Preciado. They are our incumbents for these 2 seats. Yes. Okay. La Mesa City Council endorsement of Jack Shu, and then friendly incumbent designations. So this is friendly incumbent in designations, so friendly incumbent endorsements for Grossmont Union High School Area 1, Chris Feet, Padre Dam Muni Water District, District 2, Susan Till, and Helix Water District Division 3, Mark Grasick. So even if our vote is unbound, I try with my club always to do the endorsement before the party, because it's more likely that candidates will show up if they haven't yet gotten the party endorsement. So that's just a little tip from my experience. June 3rd in the South Area Caucus, we have the friendly incumbent endorsement for Antonio Martinez for San Isidro School District and Southwestern Community College Board 3, College Board Seat 3. And I'm not aware of who those candidates are, but again, you can find them on the link. There is a link here, which is candidates, and I am going to scroll down just to show how we do this. So we have Southwestern, what one was I looking at? I was looking at Southwestern Community College Board Seat 3. Southwestern Community College Board Seat 3, we only have 1 candidate this time. It is Nicholas Segura. So your vote is bound when there are multiple candidates. So look for where there are multiple candidates, because your club will have had to make an endorsement beforehand if there are multiple candidates and not multiple seats. So in this case, there's 2 candidates, 2 seats. But where your club will have had to make an endorsement beforehand is wherever you have multiple candidates for a single seat. So that is where the stdemocrats.org club candidate list, or the short is sddems.link/candidate contacts. So these are our upcoming endorsements. Okay. Lastly, recommending a speaker. We've had this speaker form and we've had some speakers suggested. If anyone would like to recommend a speaker, you are welcome to do so. So would someone like to recommend a speaker that they've recently had at their club that they think other clubs would be interested in hearing from? Any speaker recommendations? And May 18th, the weekend of the KDEM e-board elections. That is a good point. For our next meeting, for their next meeting for these caucuses, that could be problematic. So Tamika has brought up in the chat that the 18th is the weekend of the KDEM, and so you may want to discuss with your North Coastal, North Inland vice chairs if it makes sense to continue to holding those recommendations on that day, and we may want to reschedule our council club meeting as well. Okay, Marquita Brown.
Question, can you give me a little bit more background on the speaker's role and responsibilities?
These are just speakers. If you have a club and you want to discuss a topic, these are experts on that topic that people have recommended that can come and discuss that topic with your club. So oftentimes clubs are looking for speakers. So we provide a list of people that are interested in speaking at clubs to connect speakers with clubs. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. Yes, yes, yes. So that's what I wanted to know. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Ben Swearingen?
Sorry, I forgot my question.
Okay. So I just want to highlight one of the speakers that I recently recommended, Housing for San Diegans. So it's a group that I've been working with called the STRO Working Group, except looks like I didn't quite get the email right, or maybe it is the STR Working Group. I guess I did get it right. And that is about how vacation rental regulations is affecting housing affordability. Really, vacation rentals are affecting housing affordability in our beach areas and by extension, the entire city of San Diego. So we're working to regulate basically Airbnbs that have taken over entire apartment units that would otherwise be long-term housing, how we can better regulate that as a city. So that's one that I'll highlight. That was a speaker that I suggested last time. Does anyone else have a speaker consider that they would like to recommend to other clubs?
Oh, I do.
Yes, please.
I'd like to recommend our new county supervisor, Monica Montgomery Stepp, to come in and talk to the clubs about reparations.
Okay. That would be great. We always love hearing from Monica. So, anyone else? Ben, your hand is still raised. And Dr. Banerjee, your hand is raised. Dr. Banerjee, you're recognized.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, I'd like to recommend speakers from the Stop API Hate group. This group focuses on Asian American hate, hate incidents, other issues like alien land laws, which are being proposed in Florida, or excuse me, which are on the books, in Florida, on the books in Georgia, and unfortunately have been proposed in California by some of our Democratic electeds. And these are laws that prevent people from Asian countries from buying land and leads to gross and pervasive racism against certain groups of the API diaspora.
Thank you so much. That sounds incredibly important. So I do my best to capture what people say in these meetings, but also I'm putting the form in the chat so you can send in the information. You can also put in the contact information in the chat because I think that group is very important and we would love to hear from them, but we need their contact info. So please use the link provided in the chat or put the information in the chat so I can use the link to fill in our speaker list. So Tana Rodarte.
Yes, one of the things I wanted to share that we've been doing in the Fallbrook Democratic Club is we've invited in the superintendents of all of our school districts, whether they're Democratic or Republican, just so that they're aware of what our concerns are with our schools and what we're doing as a community, how we keep an eye on them. We have what we call watchdog groups. We have members that attend all the board meetings, and those are always really well-attended meetings and very informative. And it kind of holds them accountable. So that would be another venue, especially if you have school board elections that are challenges that I would suggest.
Yes, yes. And that's again why I suggest that clubs do our endorsement considerations before the party, because it's a great way to get people into your club to talk about the issues. So, Tamika Cook?
Yes, I suggest that we look inside of our party leadership. Like there's plenty of speakers who can speak on different issues that happens in the communities. And like we have great leaders who can speak on Black issues. We have great leaders who can speak on LGBTQ IA plus issues. We have great leaders who can speak for AAPI groups. So I think that we should look into our own people sometimes for leadership ideas and topics of discussion.
Absolutely. Please recommend somebody that is in our party as well. Many of the speakers on our list are members of our party. And yeah, at our club summit, many of our panelists came from our party and our clubs, and we hope to do that again this year as well. So Stuart?
Thank you, Stuart Gaber Demko. I'm a member of the San Diego County Behavioral Advisory Group, and we have a ton of people on the council that has expertise in behavioral health and services supplied by the county. People don't realize we have a $2 billion budget. So I'd be more than happy to help people get some more, whatever speaker they want out of that group. And we deal with substance abuse, and we deal with homelessness, elder abuse, the CARE Act, which is a really big issue. And so should I put my contact information in chat or?
Absolutely. And again, I've shared a link in the chat where you can fill in the name of the group, your contact info, etc. So, if you want to fill it in the form that I've put in the chat as well, we'd love to hear it. And I would have loved to hear about that before Prop 1, because I feel like Prop 1 had a lot to say about that. And I would have loved to hear from your group.
SB 43 is even a bigger problem.
Okay. Well, see, okay. Let us know. Let us know. I'm not aware of SB 43. So
Roger that.
We don't have time on this call, but let us know. Okay, Ben, your hand is still raised. Is it raised for a reason?
Yes, I remembered my question. Okay. I haven't been to a council clubs meeting since IBDEMS started like 6 years ago or something. So I'm a little unfamiliar with some of the things. One is, do you provide these slides for us after? Do we have access to these? Okay, thank you.
Yes, you do.
And
they go out in every email.
Okay, great, thanks. And then speakers, we had a great forum here that our Imperial Beach City Council put on the sewage crisis. And there were some great experts from UCSD, one group who's developing a forecasting model of the pollution, another one talking about airborne illnesses. So, do you typically reach out to those speakers and see if they would mind, I guess, being put on this list beforehand? I assume that would be kind of the norm.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. Not really. I haven't been. I assume if somebody's providing, it's because they're a speaker that would want to be on the list. I mean, worst case, you contact them, they say, no, I don't want to speak, right? But we actually have Chris Helmer from the city of Imperial Beach, who has spoken a number of times about the cross-border pollution. So, but obviously the UCSD resources are great. So again, the form is in the chat. Please give us more speakers on important issues.
Okay.
And clubs ask me all the time, we need speakers. This is your list.
And lastly, if I may, just to clarify, those dates for the endorsements, are those the dates the San Diego Democratic?
I like how you.
Sorry. Oh, that's the dates the county party endorses, and so we need to get ours in 48 hours before that. Is that what I heard you say?
Yes, it's when the regional caucus that your representative votes at is going to endorse, because the clubs have a vote at the regional caucus, and if there are more than one Democratic candidate in the race, your club representative is bound to do the will of your club as determined by your endorsement consideration, which means you have to have an endorsement consideration before it's taken up by the party. So that's why we provide these lists every single council club meetings, to make sure people know what's coming up on the calendar, to make sure your club has the opportunity to have a voice.
Right. So if you don't have that endorsement from your club beforehand, then you just can't endorse, basically. Like if there's two candidates.
As long as, yes, if there's multiple candidates in the race, your club representative cannot vote.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm the newbie.
No, it's important. It's super important. And it's something we've all tripped over at least once. So
Okay.
that's why we emphasize it time and time again. Paul, your hand is raised.
Yeah, so we're in the process in my club of updating our bylaws. And so there's some debate about what the party requires. So I found a manual for Democratic clubs on the party website, but it hasn't been updated since 2018. Am I safe to assume that I can just take whatever's in that guide as what, or have there been any changes since then that we would need to implement?
We have, as a group of council clubs, you remember we passed a resolution on to the admin committee asking them to update the bylaws to specify, consider all Democratic candidates. This was something that we passed back in, gosh, January. They haven't taken it up yet. They're supposed to take it up in May. Additionally, there was an issue that arose at the South Region Caucus regarding whether or not a club could vote on an FIE consideration. So I'm telling you this only to say, May these things will be better clarified, because that is when the admin committee will take up the ambiguity that, as you can see, exists today in the bylaw around club endorsements. And we've had issues as clubs, and depending on what caucus, things have been interpreted different ways in different contests. So we're trying to get some clarity ourselves. So
to be clear, I'm not really talking about just club endorsement. I'm just talking about like anything. We're just looking at all of our bylaws and trying to make sure everything's up to date.
Okay.
Trying to figure out where do we go to just know all the things that have happened over the last 5 years.
Yeah. Well, our club manual is, as you pointed out, not as up to date as it could be. It is not up to date. It's been a initiative that we've been meaning to do with club development to update that. We haven't yet done so. So that's something that needs to be done. The governing rules of the party can be found here, stdemocrats.org, under bylaws and policies and procedures. There is sections in both regarding clubs. As I just stated, there is some ambiguity in those sections that can be confusing for clubs, and we're trying to resolve that at the next admin meeting.
Okay. Because like okay. Well, maybe I can talk to you about this later. But
Absolutely.
yeah, there's a lot of debate going on internally in the club of like, there has to be this many people to make quorum and set by the party, and I can't point to any documentation to say this is what we should be doing. And so it's all kind of like, well, I heard this and I heard that. And so
Yeah.
definitive.
Feel free to invite me to those meetings. Another great resource for that is Doug Case, our party parliamentarian. I rely on him a lot when these things get conflicting and complicated. So yeah, I mean, he's someone else I'd highly recommend. Cody Vieira, who's past president of the Council of Clubs. She's also an excellent resource for parliamentarian. So, okay, Ross, your hand is raised. You're recognized.
Yeah, I just wanted to suggest also your area admin committee reps are also available. I am the area rep for North Inland.
Thank you.
Thank you, Russ. I appreciate it. Okay, so with that in mind, okay, we are now on to other announcements. And Cody had made an announcement about the Young Dems at the state convention. If anyone else would like to make an announcement, or she would like to follow up on that, now is the time. Okay, so Stuart, your hand is raised. You're recognized.
I'm sorry, that's an error. I'll print it down.
Okay, Cynthia.
Yes, I don't know if many people are aware, but in February, or I guess the beginning of March, the Lemon Grove City Council passed a resolution, a ceasefire resolution, and our club followed up, passing a resolution also for a ceasefire in the Middle East. And I would like to call on my fellow club presidents and other representatives here to consider that both in your community, to bring that forward to your elected officials, to your Board of Supervisor representatives, to those councils that you may have influence with, and to look at that. This is a pressing issue. We are looking at unprecedented numbers on a daily basis. And so I would like for people to consider that. It is an area of clarity for me. I am old. I remember previous times in our country's history where our federal government made decisions in which our taxpayer money deeply affected the lives of citizens around the world. And this is a time where local government needs to take action. We talk about all politics being local. We can make a difference. We as clubs can mobilize our members. We can mobilize our elected officials, and we can begin to speak on this issue. I can put the resolution that we passed in the chat. I can also put a resolution that was passed this last week by the Labor Council unanimously for that same ceasefire. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Banerjee?
All right, thank you much, Madam Chair. So I just want to let everyone know, so May is API Heritage Month. On May 16th, during the e-board, or prior to the e-board, the CADEM API caucus will be holding a virtual session on what it means to be API, what those demographics mean, what these individuals mean in our communities, etc. And we'll also be holding a session on API organizing. This will be from 6 to 7:30. I'll be sending that out to you, Madam Chair, so we can share it with the clubs. Additionally, API Dems will be holding several forums. One of them will be the API Women in Politics panel, which again we'll be sending out the dates and times and logistics soon. And then throughout the next couple of months, we're going to be holding several discussionary panels on this. Again, as I mentioned before, alien land laws, which are ravaging the API communities right now, resulting in denial of rental properties, acts of violence, need for individuals of certain diasporas to prove that they're able to buy homes. And I want to stress that, able to buy homes in America, or able to get housing in America, in places like Georgia, Florida, and as I mentioned before, potentially California, with legislation that was co-sponsored by Democrats from our area. And I won't go into their names. But again, I encourage you all to come to these events to learn about our communities. And if anyone has any questions, they can reach out to me or the club. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. I would like to make an announcement about the Democratic Club Summit. So we have tentatively scheduled this for Saturday, August 24th at San Diego City College. The working, not quite byline yet, but increasing our electoral impact, increasing the impact of clubs on elections. Not quite sure how we're going to put that yet, but yeah, that is coming up. We're planning on doing again at City College, but learning from our mistakes by having, shade tents. Totally understand that. Food for lunch that is pre-prepared. We're listening. So we want to do it again. We thought it was a great experience for everyone, and we want it to be a great experience for this year as well.
Madam Chair, I'd like to be recognized.
Oh yeah, sure, Stuart. Sorry.
I'm sorry, that was a real one. I'm looking for a speaker to speak about what's going on in Palestine from a Palestinian perspective. If anybody knows that, I'd love to have that information.
Okay, great. Well,
thank you.
I'll finish making my announcement, and then if someone,
I'm sorry.
It's okay. If someone would like to then respond to that, that would be appreciated. So on Saturday, August 24th is the date we've tentatively planned. However, that is conflicting with a rather important date for DEMCO. They had an event scheduled on that day. So an alternate day I was looking at was August 3rd. Is anyone aware of any, on Saturday, August 3rd, any events that are going on in our party or our community? I haven't yet spoke to the club development about this, so I apologize, Club Dev, that I haven't yet discussed this with you, but would there be any, does anyone see any issues if it were to be, again, these are just two dates we're looking at this point. But August 24th, we are conflicting with something that was rather important to one of our clubs. So would August 3rd as an alternate date, does anyone see any issues there? I'm just throwing this out there right now. Nothing is set in stone. You're welcome to email me later if you know of a conflict, and I'll be speaking with Club Dev about this as well. I'm not doing anything right now. It's just a conflict that has recently been made aware to me. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. Okay, Marquita, your hand is raised.
It's okay. I'm gonna drop the the speaker in the chat and we can share it out. Yes, but she is a part of our Democratic Party from San Diego.
Wonderful. Yeah, La Voz Demócrata was also looking for a Palestinian speaker who can speak in Spanish on what's happening in Gaza. I recognize that may be a tall ask, but it was something that our club was interested in having. So if someone is aware of a Spanish-speaking Palestinian speaker.
I can always offer to translate if, if that works for people.
Okay.
It's Ben Swearingen.
Thank you. Okay. Cynthia, I'm getting a lot of what you're sending me in the chat, but it's kind of coming through.
I'm seeing that. I will see what I can figure out what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah. I could send it out in a future email with a link to this.
That would be
if
great.
people are interested.
Thank you.
Okay. That
Okay.
might be the best way to do it because it's
All
a
right.
little too long for our chat.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. And if anyone's interested, they can contact you directly. So, okay. Are there any other announcements at this time?
And the gentleman that has the question, if they would contact me directly, I may have some resources for them.
Oh, okay. The gentleman about the question about Palestinian?
Yes, I have. I've had a number of people helping us with this resolution and contacting a number of elected officials and such. And so we've got quite a little coalition going of people from multiple sides. And I suspect that they would be very helpful in putting us in contact with someone who can do that.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. Sounds great. Thank you. Okay. Anything further? And by the way, that was Justin who was speaking, I believe. Justin, was he the one who was asking for the Palestinian resources or was that Stuart? I'm confused.
And I would encourage anyone
Stuart,
who
yes.
who's interested in moving forward to reach out. I can put you in touch with assistance to help you with how to reach out to elected officials, how to move forward with your club so that you're not feeling like you're trying to do this on your own.
Cynthia, do you want to put your contact info in the chat and I'll send it out to the club?
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. Okay, great. So new business and continued business. It was brought up to me that this is Sexual Awareness Month. We still have not had our sexual harassment training for clubs. I'd like to do that as one of our upcoming council club sessions, having a harassment training in general, including sexual harassment. So I'm putting that out there as something, again, need to run it by a club dev, but that's something that I would like to do in the future. And new business, we don't have any additional new business at this time. So is there any other announcements, anything else that would like to be said before we adjourn? And I'm waiting to get Cynthia's information. Okay, perfect, Cynthia. I will pass this on. Here is Cynthia's information for anyone that would like it. And okay.
And I'm a night owl, so you can call me late.
Okay. Anything else anyone like to say before we adjourn? Okay, well, thank you all for being here. I appreciate you sharing this Council of Clubs meeting with me. Oh, was there a hand up? Cody, was your hand up?
Wait, one, trying to get the information here.
Yeah, I'm happy to stay on the line a little longer, but we're going to
Thank
pause
you.
recording.
No problem.